Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner, Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Yes, sir. Good morning. Welcome aboard. We will fix the camera angle. I know it's kind of weird here, but we are coming to you live, baby, from Caneswear here in Davie, and we are going to be rocking and rolling for a few hours out here. We're going to be previewing, talking about the Dolphins and the Bills. Everything should be solid on the internet side because we got everything going on. We were able to fix the issues. So there we go. Now I see, yes, now the movement is going on. There we go. There we go. Yeah, baby. Sean has got it centered, kind of. There we go. Wait a minute. Hold on. And you see the Sheba shirt, by the way, which, of course, I figured today I got to wear my Sheba shirt because Sheba went on a pump last night, went up all the way 40%. For those of us that are crazy enough to invest in Sheba, that's there you go. See, there's my Sheba shirt. There you go. Okay. Nice job by you, Sean. Damn, you centered that bitch right there perfectly, man. Yeah, no, you don't got to look. You did it right. You did it right. Anyway, so, yeah, got my Sheba shirt, got my Inter hat. Obviously, it is Inter Miami Day today because they are taking the pitch against the Red Bulls from New York. And by the way, just a little crypto tip, okay? Because I never have told any of you all to ever invest in Sheba because that's a craziness or whatever. And I threw a couple bucks Sheba's way months ago. And I bought a lot of it in the 5s and the 6s. And we're talking about the 5s or the 6s in the millions category, okay? This is not the pennies. It's way before. It's 4 zeros, I believe, or 5 zeros before we get to a digit behind the decimal. So it's way behind there. And it climbed all the way to the 9s, 9.5, 9.6. And one of the things that I did, and this is just me, I'm not a financial advisor, so the account went up a little bit, right? And so what I did was I took some off the top because I believe it's going to correct itself and come back down because Sheba was actually posted. It was on Coinbase yesterday. It was finally added to Coinbase and to Binance. And so that's what happened. There's a lot of people that are on Coinbase and Binance, and they didn't bother to go to crypto.com or any other services to try to get SHIB before it got there. And so now SHIB got on there and it catapulted and it shot up 40%. And so I know there's going to be a correction, and the correction went down. Once it hit 40%, I thought it was such a crazy number that I said, you know what, let me take some off the top just for the hell of it because, I don't know if this thing will ever hit or not, but I might as well, if I'm making something out of it, I might as well get it. And now it's down to, it's up 31%, which is still pretty good. Overall, it's at 9 right now. It's 0.00000904. And so I've got it at the 5s and the 6s, a lot of it, right? So that's where I figured, okay, think about it. I'm close to doubling on some of it. So I said, you know what? Let me take a little bit off the top. I went and I put it into Polygon and so, I just kind of did that instead just to enjoy a little profits off of it. But that's kind of the way you do it. These are risky things and you've got to be on top of them. And SHIB is obviously incredibly risky. That's why I would never tell any of you out there to invest in SHIB. I'll tell you Polygon and I'll tell you Cardano and I'll tell you Ethereum and Bitcoin and VeChain and Told you recently about BitTorrent, BTT, and it's still a very good value, right? BitTorrent and VChain, man, are still great values to keep loading up before they go parabolic. And when they go parabolic, you'll never get them at the prices that they're at right now. That's my opinion, obviously. Not a financial advisor, but, just want to throw it out there. But I figured I'd mention it since I am a little happy that SHIB made a move today, and we'll see if it continues. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, they are building a blockchain. They have Shiba Swap. If they start burning, that will also increase the value of the coin too in the process. So we'll find out about that. We got a lot of things to talk about. Dolphins and Bills. Omar Kelly is going to join us around 12:15. We'll talk to him. Manny Navarro will join us at 11:30. And Ira Winderman will join us at 10:30. So we've kind of switched everything around today. Today starts Heat training camp, dude. Yeah. He's doing something today Heat-wise because he had to do it a little early. So he goes to me, hey, man, I need to do it earlier or something about camp, or I don't know, maybe he's got some media stuff that is going on. I don't know what it is, but he had to, I know, man. I know it's so good. And we've got Ira with us here all year long, and it's going to be fun. And Clay, I mean, I think that show is terrific every single week. And now when the Heat season starts, and in a way, this is fun, let me tell you, because I kind of enjoy this. They're underestimating the Miami Dolphins, and I think the Dolphins are going to be a better team, and they're underestimating the Miami Heat. And that's pretty cool. I don't mind that. And while I'm not, I will admit, you guys know it, I've talked about this before, these contracts long-term scare the crap out of me. But at least for this one season, if you get things to line up for you, if the stars can line up for you, he can scare the crap out of people this year. They're going to be a physically imposing team in the Eastern Conference. And then there's these wild cards. If these young guys take another step, and I'm talking about Bam being super aggressive, I'm talking about Tyler becoming at least a borderline all-star type player, take it to that next level. I'm not asking him to be all-star. I'm not asking him to be all-NBA, but I'm asking him to raise his game to a consistent level where he's right on the periphery of that. And Duncan does what he does. And then, of course, obviously the ultimate wild card, you get Depot healthy towards the back end. I know the veterans are going to do their job. So that's a team that could really threaten in the Eastern Conference. And with their physicality, with their in-your-face defense, we could have a lot of fun with this Heat team, at least for this year. You know what I mean? As these guys get older, I don't know we'll when we get to next offseason and next year, we'll find out where their bodies are at that time after another season of beating their bodies up. But this year here, you need a couple things to fall into place. I understand that. If I had wheels, I'd be a bicycle. If my grandmother had a set, she'd be my grandfather. I understand all those things, but it's there. So if you're able to do that, that would be actually really, really cool. So it's great to have Ira here all season long to talk a little Heat basketball, and we will talk to him at 10:30 as training camp is right around the corner. And the boys get ready for the new season. I know he's doing something. I don't know. I forgot what it was. Maybe he's getting a haircut. I don't know. We'll see. And so we'll talk to him at 10:30, and we'll get the skinny from Ira as we talk a little basketball. Manny Navarro will preview Michigan State and Miami. And I hate betting against my favorite team, and that's the Canes. And I'm gonna have to. Well, I already took the points. I mean, I had to. I had no choice. I had to take the points. It's just I hope the Canes win. There's no shot they win by 6.5. I think that I'm afraid that they're going to lose this game. To be honest with you, when you hear that they can run the ball the way they can, 300 yards. They're averaging 299 yards a game. I mean, undersized defense, undersized linebackers. 300 yards a game. That's not a good combination. And they're going to do what they can to maybe keep De'Aaron King off the field and stuff. I fear the hell out of this game, to be honest with you. I'm starting to fear the entire season now for the University of Miami. So we'll see what happens. We'll talk to Manny Navarro about that one. And then, of course, we've got the Dolphins and the Bills on Sunday. And I told you already, I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling confident. I'm not telling you they're just like New England. I'm not telling you they're going to go kick New England's ass, and they didn't. I'm not telling you they're going to go kick Buffalo's ass, and I don't know if they do or not. I hope they do. That would be nice. I'd like to be wrong in that part at least. But I think they're going to eke one out, man. I really do. I like this team to get better this week. They've got better weapons this week on offense. They should have a little more balance on offense. They should be a hell of a lot more scarier in the passing game. We will find out if Will Fuller is back at practice today and if everything goes well. I think I believe is Flores at 11. Can you look it up for me? If Flores is at 11, then we can carry the Brian Flores press conference at 11 o'clock since we have Manny at 11:30. And we have Ira at 10:30, so we've got that window open. If it is 11 o'clock, then let's get the coach on. We'll do that press conference, and we'll get the latest there. Maybe I'm hoping the Will Fuller stuff was a precautionary thing that they practiced him, and he's had his injury, so kind of bring him along slowly. And then that tells me also if it is precautionary, then they're going to pace him even in the game, that he won't be. You're going to need Albert Wilson to kind of split time with him and all of that. Maybe you don't give him the same amount of reps that you normally would give him until you work him in there that he's 100%. So maybe that's kind of the case with everything going on. Man. Oh, there it is. Get some water here, man. My mouth is dry already out here in the sun. So good. I should get Fiji to sponsor this show because I'm always drinking this water. I live by this damn water. This is the one water that I crave for every time. I can drink other ones, there's no doubt, but I don't know why. I like Fiji water over all the other waters. It's my favorite one. And anybody tells you there's not a difference from one water or another, there is. You can taste it. I don't know. But for me, I know I can taste it. That's for damn sure. So we'll see. What else do we have here going on in the world of all of you out there? I saw Chapman came in at number 1. I saw it in the morning there when I was preparing. Adrian Sosa in to extreme. He says, Giants debacle last night was epic. We need to be grateful to Flores for teaching our team how to not lose a game. No mistakes. When we still need to stock the shelves with more talent, but damn it. Listen, it's what I told you yesterday, right? Didn't we talk about this yesterday? I'm so sick and tired of the NFC East. I'm so sick and tired of the pundits shoving this damn division down our throats because most of them live in the damn Northeast. And a lot of them are fans of these stinking teams, but it's the most overrated division. It's a terrible division. That was a terrible game last night, full of mistakes. 2 teams that aren't going to be in the playoff. Well, I shouldn't say that because somebody's got to make the playoff out of that clown division, right? I mean, that's what happened last year. And I'm a Ron Rivera fan, personally. I've gotten to know Ron. He's a really good dude. Before he was a head coach, I used to hang out with him at the Combine every year. We'd go to a cigar bar, and it was called Olives. And he and I would sit down and talk football and have some fun, and I'd pick his brain. But at that time, he was a defensive coordinator, and before that, he was a position coach. So for several years, I was able to hang out with him and enjoy some cigars. Once he became a head coach, forget it, dude. You like the head coaches you don't even see in the damn Combine, Sean. They're like gone because those guys are like interviewing till late at night, And by the time the night is over, they're done. They want to turn in, and they don't want to be out in the streets too much. Now, and let me tell you something. That's one of the things that's kind of changed. When I go on the road to the East-West Shrine, to the Senior Bowl, to the Combine, all those kind of things, for years, I had no problem hanging out. I used to hang out with coaches at strip bars. You know that? There was a strip bar called Sammy's. They closed it down in Mobile. I'll show it to you because I'll show you the building is still there this year, Sean. And when you go up there with me this year, I'll show it to you. And so Sammy's was like the place to go to. And this was before cameras, before phones, had cameras all over the place and all that kind of stuff. And so I would go to Sammy's because, well, I had to meet people there, of course. It's not for any of the other stuff that's going on. No, I wasn't paying attention to the women and all that. I mean, it really doesn't help that half of them were pregnant and, missing their teeth. But anyway, just, forget about that. Let's just move on from the participants inside that. But anyway, so Sammy's, actually, it's not true. They would actually bring in girls from other strip clubs in other states that were like partnered businesses, and so they'd send their hottest ones there is actually what they would do during Senior Bowl week. But anyway, just to kind of in all transparency. And so I saw all kinds of coaches there do all kinds of things, okay? Saw them go to the back of the champagne room, saw scouts go to the back of the champagne room, all that kind of stuff. Some of them were notorious for going back there with multiple girls. It became kind of a tradition that I would go, oh, he's here. Wait till you see it. He's going to go in the back with two girls, and I'm not giving any names or none of that. I will take that to the grave. Okay, so I've never talked about that publicly, but that's the problem. That's the problem. Now with social media and cameras, the guys are even more reluctant to even go just to bars and be caught with a drink in their hands. They tell me that. They go, man, with social media and phones, we got to go somewhere where it's quiet, away from people, because if not, I don't want people seeing me and taking pictures and this and that, and that happens. And that's how much it's gotten, that it's that much tougher to get information at times. Because you don't get that same personal time that you used to. Back in the day, it got so crazy that you would run into them in strip clubs and different places. And, you would just say, hi, what's up? Talk to them sometimes. Sometimes I got some info at Sammy's, when I was there. So you had to go back in the day. And I'm talking about, when I say back in the day, it's well over 12, 13 years ago already now. That's how long it's been for that. I mean, it was already dying out then, and then it's gotten to that point where it's kind of gone already at this point. And then the bars, they have less personnel too. You might see them more at certain cigar bars because they'll have a cigar and just a beer there, and that's, something that most people don't complain about. But it's a crazy thing, man. It's amazing how this business has changed, and how cell phones and social media have also changed this world. It is what it is. Drew Boo is in there. James Vivinetti says, I have a good feeling about Sunday. I'm feeling it too, James. I'm feeling it too, man. David Dalrymple says, I think Phil can be good this year. Phil can be good this year. What do you mean by I think Phil can be good this year? I'm not exactly sure what that means. Polly King says, Big O, I want to thank you because of your take on the vaccine and how much research you told us to do. I can say I got my first dose and I'm ready to help others. Good for you, man. Good for you. The more we get people on vaccine, the more we can all get our lives back and kill this damn thing. And it doesn't float around nearly as much. It'll float around a lot less because as you have the vaccine, you're able to fight it off some. You know what I mean? And by the way, those of you that were unfortunate to get COVID, did you hear about this? The people that got COVID and then recovered and then got the vaccine, apparently they are the strongest individuals to fight off the virus than all of us. So if you never had it and you had the vaccine, you got your antibodies. The people that ended up surviving from COVID and then got the vaccine, those people have an enormous amount of super antibodies that they're able to fight it off more than the average person. Now I'm not telling you that, hey, go out and get COVID, then get the vaccine. No. You don't want to roll. You also don't want to play Russian roulette. That's actually not fun to do. So I don't want you guys playing any Russian roulette, because that's the frustrating part about medicine, that it's always evolving and nobody knows everything. They're constantly learning. That's just the way it is. Good morning, Big O. I tweeted the game day forecast. Check it out. It favors the Dolphins. Thank you, Derek. I bet you're meaning it's hot and humid, which I love. Big O, I want to invest in crypto. Any advice? Miguel, never, ever invest on anything going up in parabolic. Okay? Right now, let me tell you, right now, there's some good deals. Again, I am not a financial advisor. Do your own homework. I am just a sports talk host that loves crypto, and that's it, okay? So I'm not, invest what you are willing to lose. I also want to tell you that, because I want to make sure that, I'm not Mr. God or anything, but Polygon is down 9% at 136 right now. It's actually not a bad price. VeChain, it's at 11.6 cents. VeChain is a freaking steal, in my opinion, right now, and still people should take advantage of VeChain. BitTorrent. BitTorrent is right now at just under 4 cents. I'm sorry, just under half a cent at 3.9. I love BitTorrent. This is one you sit on for a while, and I think it's going to go up into the pennies, into a quarter, eventually into and if you're getting it under half a cent, you can do the math. You're going to make some decent money once it starts to go up. In fact, I think I want to get a little more BitTorrent when it's all said and done. So I'm telling you, it's at a good price right now. You want to make sure you take advantage of BitTorrent. What else do we have here on that I do like right now, besides BitTorrent, and I think is a bargain? Let me see, what else do I have here? Theta. Theta, you can only get it in certain places, Binance, Gate.io, but Theta is at 657 right now. I think it's going to go up a lot. It'll double to triple to that number in the next year, I think. So Theta's another one that you can look at, but that one's a little bit more expensive because it's at $6.50 right now. But I'm telling you, VeChain and BitTorrent for me are absolute bargains right now that people should take advantage of. That's for sure. Shiba, by the way, is up 31% right now. Not bad. Don't invest in Shiba. You know what Shiba is? The lottery. Okay? You know how you play the lottery and you're trying to pick the 6 numbers? That's Shiba. In other words, you're flushing your money down the toilet. So if you want to buy Shiba, you go ahead and buy Shiba. Now it's gone parabolic. You might want to wait for it to dip a little bit so you can, get a deal. But just in case, okay, Shiba is a total gamble. Like you have to look at it like if you grab money and you just go to the toilet and just throw it down the toilet and flush it. That's how you have to look at Shiba. Just in case. So that way, if it loses, you expected it to lose. If it goes up, like it just recently did, you can take some profits and you can enjoy it. Okay? So that's what I would tell you, Miguel. Let's see. Big O, have you made your appointment for your 3rd vaccine dose? It's supposed to come out the 20th. I have not made it because until the FDA says that you should get your 3rd vaccine, it's not etched in stone that you need the 3rd vaccine yet. I need more research on that one first before I go do that. Let's see. Natural immunity is 27 times the vaccine. Sure it is. Sure it is, dude. Yeah. Show me that John Hopkins said that, sir. Show me that, okay? All right. If you're listening to Tucker Carlson, I can't help you, bro. You know what I mean? I love how people pull this crap out, and all they did was get it from some Facebook post or something like that. Show me that the New England Journal of Medicine, sir, said that. Okay? Show me that. Okay? Not some clown out there that you're just following another clown that follows another clown and follows another clown. You know what I'm saying? So, go ahead and knock yourself out. But as for the third dose, I'm not ready for it until the FDA says that you need it. If they don't say it, I'm not taking it. Listen, man, I keep my distance anyways. I've gone to concerts. I'll double mask. You know what I mean? I'll do whatever I have to do. I mean, I've been doing live shows throughout the entire pandemic. I was doing 3 and 4 live shows. Those of you that have followed this thing hardcore, last year when this whole pandemic was going on, I'm the only radio host in the country, probably. Forget South Florida. I know South Florida, probably in the country that was doing 3 and 4 remotes a week. So I don't live my life scared, but I live my life the right way. I'm trying to be careful in all of this. You know what I mean? I wash my hands. I keep my distance. I wear my mask if I have to be in some kind of group or something. That's worked for me. You know what I mean? So as long as I'm not going into groups and all that unmasked and people are screaming and I'm breathing up all that crap, then that's a whole different ballgame. But if you take care of yourself, you're fine. Big O, can you twerk? Yeah. Do you want me to twerk? I don't know. Should I get a fans only page and twerk? No, that's not. No, all right. Sean says he's not producing that. I love it. I love it. Let's see. What else do we have here? Byron Jones is going to put himself back into the top 5 CBs this season. It would be awesome to see him get an interception this weekend. Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I'm with you there. For who? Oh, it is? All right, so we'll have Flores for you at 11 o'clock. How about that? I like it. Brennan Grogan says, come on, Big O. Everybody knows the best advice comes from Facebook memes. Yeah. So I want that guy to show me that those facts come from the Harvard medical files. So come on, show me something credible behind your bullshit facts. Okay, all right, that's what I like. When you show me something credible. Is Omar on today? Is it Friday, sir? Is it Friday, Pat in Asheville? If it's Friday, it's Omar Friday. Although he's on today a little later, brother. He's on at 12:15 today. We had to like call an audible like Tua, and instead of a run, we went with a pass to Devontae Parker to tell the New England Patriots, you ain't winning today, bitch. It's over. So yes, he's on today at 12:15. We are going to talk to Ira Winderman. Let's switch gears. Let's talk a little basketball. Training camp is right around the corner. I got questions for Ira. We got stuff going on in the NBA. We got a lot of things going on. Remember, if you have any questions, you can also send it in to the text line 855-912-1056. If you don't want to put it on YouTube, or if you're listening to the podcast at anytime, day or night, 855-912-1056 is the text line. Let's take a break. Ira Winderman with our Acura Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, and NBA report. That is next.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
All righty, we got Ira. He is ready to rock and roll. Ira, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Big O.
Good morning. So you got what? Is it like training camp? What do you got? Like press conferences today? What's going on today?
Well, I'm finishing up some work ahead of time, starting to talk to some Heat players, going to talk to Dwayne Dedmon, some others ahead of training camp. Even though we're 3 years into this with COVID, it's still not like regular media day. So when that starts a week from Monday, it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit more hectic. It's going to be a little bit more limited. Oh, one of the real good things about the Heat, and the PR staff, I think, does a great job, is they're able to get you together with players. You can get some one-on-ones. You get to know the players. These times have been so different that I'm just trying to sort of work ahead of time and get some players ahead of time, because it's not like it used to be. Hopefully it will be like that again. You've sort of lost a little bit of the personal touch that's been so important in covering this team for 34 years. Hopefully we get back to that. So yeah, the interview process is already starting. Camp starts a week from Tuesday.
All right, so Ira, before I get into the Heat, I want to bounce around a little bit in the NBA and
Sure.
the whole Kyrie Irving thing. Now, obviously, now he's backtracking like an NFL cornerback on his stupid comment about masks and all that. And I know that he's also got a year left on his contract, where the Nets can give him a big deal now or an even bigger deal in a year. And I got to tell you something. If I'm the Nets and I've got Kevin Durant, and that's the guy that I want to sign long term, and that's the guy I want to build around, I can use him, Ira, to go get me that third star to replace this flake. And he's constantly injured as it is, and then he's also constantly sticking his foot in his mouth on a consistent basis, saying all kinds of stupid shit. And so I'm just wondering, Ira, if you're the Nets, I understand that Kyrie has super abilities. I get his handle and his shot and all that stuff, but there's all this other baggage that comes with it, and he's also unreliable because of his body at times. This year was a perfect example of all of that. I'm just wondering, if you're the Nets, why do you want to move forward with this flake?
Because honestly, Big O, among the reasons they have Kevin Durant and they have James Harden is because they have Kyrie Irving, and because players recognize talent and players recognize unique talent. And I think outsiders, we look at the flakes and we look at the comments and we look at the backstories. Players don't give a rat's crap about that when you have a talent like Kyrie Irving alongside. And honestly, I'm not sure tradable. You can find a better quality level player than Kyrie Irving. It's, in other words, you're not getting Steph Curry and going out and making a trade like that. You're not getting Anthony Davis. You're just not getting those players. Those are franchise cornerstones elsewhere. I agree. Kyrie Irving is maybe the NBA's, probably go as far as to say, ultimate headache. I mean, this is a guy, he was away from the team, and then it was mental health, and then he shows up at a party, and then he's not protected with the COVID protocols. He took a 10-game staycation in the middle of last season. Then come the playoffs, and he always seems to be injured when you need him at sort of the critical mass also. But the thing is, and you see this in all sports, you put up with an awful lot of BS in sports if you can get ultimate talent. He's ultimate talent. Talent-wise, Big O, he's a top 10 player.
I'm not arguing the talent whatsoever. You are 1,000% right, sir. It's the baggage, and then there's a key word, because you said, yeah, players don't care about that stuff. They care about the talent, and he is, but they got to care about reliability, and you can't say he's reliable. That's the problem, because of his body, because of the flakiness. At times, I'm going to take a 10-day, vacation. What kind of crap is that, dude? I mean, I don't know. I get the talent part, but players have to be pissed that they can't rely on him, right?
Yes and no. Players understand injuries. Everyone's been through it. Take James Harden, for example. Is James Harden not reliable because he had his hamstring and was limited, very limited in the playoffs and wasn't nearly himself? Or as a player, do you say, wow, that guy can do things that no one can stop? Kevin Durant is the most unstoppable scorer in the NBA. James Harden is the most unstoppable get to the free throw line guy in the NBA. And Kyrie Irving has the best handles of any player in the NBA. So when you have all three of those factors working together for you, you sort of say, okay, we'll put up with the BS. People have put up with BS in other sports for years. You have to deal with it. Is it hard being a coach for Kyrie Irving? Definitely. Is it hard being the executive who has to go ahead and pay this guy $50 million a year on an extension? Definitely. But the third part of that equation, Big O, is it hard being his teammate? These guys are different than us. They don't look at it that way. They don't care if he makes it hard on the coaching staff. They don't care if he makes it hard on management. They know when they go out on the court and they are lining up with Kevin Durant and James Harden and Kyrie Irving, they sort of have that, whatever you want to call it, eating grin on their face, knowing you can't stop us. We have too much right now. So you put up with the BS. Just like, you know what? Oh, early on in the game, and I think late in the game also, LeBron James has been like that also. That's a difficult guy to be around with his whims and who he wants alongside, and you better trade for this guy, and you better sign that guy, and I want it done this way. There's an awful lot of you put up ancillary with these guys that you have to. I agree with you. What we've seen the last week from Kyrie Irving, and also societal, some of the stuff he said when it came to COVID and all that, I agree with you that there's no place for that and it makes life harder. But no one said it's going to be easy when you're around a superstar, whether it's the NFL, the NHL, the Major League Baseball. It's just what it is. And you see at every turn, teams, even when a pitcher's been accused of domestic abuse or something, they still trade for him. They still want him because they know greatness. Ultimately, and it might not be right, but you're a big rock star fan, you're a big movie fan. There's some total jerks out there who make really good movies. There's some total a-holes out there that have absolutely broken up bands. But man, when they were at their best, whether it was riffing in their guitar, they were as good as anyone. So you look back, especially you with your rock and roll background, and you say, man, why did this group have to break up? Why did that guy have to leave? Why did that have to happen? Because you put up with the personalities, and you know what? When they were on point and they were being the best at what they do, there's no one better, so you put up with it. I bet you've gone to concerts, and said, this guy, the front man for a band, is a total ass. But man, what a 3 hours that just was.
David Lee Roth. David Lee Roth
that's
is
who I was thinking
complete
of.
donkey's ass.
Right.
Greatest frontman ever.
And then you watch Sammy Hagar, who did the best he could with what he could, when he went in there.
He's a much better singer. Yeah.
Right. He's a much better professional. Matter of fact, that's the one thing about him. Whether it's his solo career or even when he went to Van Halen and wanted to sort of change their approach and say, why are we doing best of, albums and things like that? He was a pros pro. But without the pros pro, it was a lot more fun. That's what the Kyrie Irving experience is. I would put it this way. If you're asking me, are the Brooklyn Nets going to be the last team Kyrie Irving plays for? I would say no. I would say he will wear out his welcome again. He has done it in school. He has done it with his teams. He has done it with his ever-changing agents. It's just who he is. So you enjoy it for now. The one thing we've learned, whether it was the Celtics, whether it was the Heat or teams before, these big threes are not ultimate enduring teams. This is not the Showtime Lakers. This is not a team you can say for the next 5, 8, 10 years, we're going to be special. It's changing sports and you deal with it.
Yeah. And he's worn it out with me too. Although I will say this, the idiot does a lot of good things behind the scenes too. So
and that's the thing. Just when you're ready to rip him because he comes out, his sneaker maker makes a fantastic new shoe. He calls the sneaker garbage and said he wouldn't wear it, has to backtrack, but then he's creating fresh water overseas in communities that don't have it. So you know what? That he's all over the place sort of with his personality.
Yeah.
You have to take the good with the bad. I've had plenty of Heat players that I've dealt with over the years. And just when you're at your breaking point, you get a release that he's feeding the homeless or he's creating a scholarship program or something like that. And you go, either his agent knows how to play the system or behind everything else, there is still a good man behind that.
Yeah, I'm with you there. There's no doubt about that. All right, let's just remind Heat fans, because, you get it. I'm sure you got it, and so did I, and your DMs or your tweets or whatever. They don't have what it takes, cap space, whatever, to get John Wall. But how do they get rid of John Wall? So, because now everybody's talking about, they're trying to trade John Wall. What happens with John Wall? And why doesn't he do the Dougie anymore? Because that was one of the greatest Dougies of all time. All right, go ahead.
Well, maybe he's too injured to Dougie anymore, so we'll have to wait and see. Maybe he could do it on the bench. We'll have to see that also. Can he be traded? Yes, because there are other bad contracts. So right now, boom, I could give you a trade of John Wall for Kevin Love. Does that help the Rockets? No. Does that help the Cavaliers? No. But it can be done. People thought that was the same trade last year when they traded John Wall for Russell Westbrook. And then all of a sudden, Russell Westbrook revived his career, was Mr. Triple-Double at the end of the year. And you know what? Provided enough value that all of a sudden now Washington this offseason gets a Kyle Kuzma, gets a Montrezl Harrell, gets players that give them better depth so that it is workable. Eventually, it comes down to this. Which is the greater driving force for John Wall at this point of his career? Love of the game or love of money? Because at any point, he is allowed to go, I will take less. I will take a buyout. Kemba Walker so wanted to get to the New York Knicks, his hometown New York Knicks, that he went to the Oklahoma City Thunder and said, take $20 million, shave it off the top of my contract. You can have that money back. I get to go to New York, finish my career where I started scholastically. So it's doable. But John Wall has to look inside also and say to himself, will I ever be great again? Will I ever have that explosion again? Will I ever get a 5, 8, 10, $20 million contract again? Or do I want to protect my earnings? Everyone in the NBA has the choice. This is not the NFL where you can restructure your contract. You either have a contract or you get out of your contract by buying it out. There's no middle ground. There's no, instead of, 40 million, I'll take 25 million. Let's make it work for trade. You don't have that flexibility. But at any point you can say, one, I don't want to play for the Rockets because you're rebuilding. God bless you. But two, I want to play for something meaningful, so I'll give back a chunk of change. So right now, they're not doing it publicly, but very much behind the scenes. The Rockets are going to John Wall, going exactly, okay, if you give up X amount of money, we'll give you a buyout. And John Wall's going to the Rockets or his people and going, I'm only giving up X amount of money. Is that enough for me to get a buyout? I think this will play out slowly along the way to the point where either John Wall realizes he has no market, or John Wall realizes, you know what? I want to play NBA ball. I'm working well in practice. I can still do this stuff. I still want to be someone. It's his decision to make, and it's nothing more Big O than a cost analysis.
All right, Ira, we've got Heat training camp right around the corner. Does the Heat still start their training camp where the first 2 weeks they don't even touch the ball? It's all defense and conditioning. Is it still like that in today's NBA?
It was, but I think with the roster they have now, there's a real trust factor on that end of the game. I mean, if you were to look at players, you probably would say to yourself, Bam is a better defensive player than offensive player. You probably would also say Jimmy Butler is a better defensive player than offensive player. We know that is the case for PJ Tucker. You can make an argument in that direction for Kyle Lowry. He is one tough SOB.
Markieff can play defense too.
Markieff has before. So I think it's the opposite. And something maybe people think I've been harping on a little is, where's the scoring going to come from? So I think they need to make Tyler Hero comfortable during camp. They have to make Duncan Robinson comfortable with his new teammates. They have to set up scrimmages where every time Bam Adebayo has a 17-foot wide open jumper, if he doesn't take the shot, not make the shot, take the shot, they run laps. They have to put that kind of pressure on him.
Can we put that collar? Can we put that collar on him and then we can shock him?
I don't know. There's a lot of
why not? Hey, Bam, shoot.
There's a lot of elements there. There might even be some racial elements. I'm not going there, Big O. But I think you could stop practice and make people run suicides or something like that. So it's weird. Most of the time, I would agree. Eric Spoelstra would go, we didn't do anything today. We worked on our defensive sets. We worked on our conditioning. I think this is a year they need to work on their offense. I know this team can defend. You know this team can defend.
Yeah.
But you know what? You got to score in today's NBA.
Yes.
You can't just score 100. You have to get to 110. And if you check all the Heat boxes and say if Jimmy Butler hits his career average, and Kyle Lowry hits his career average, and Bam Adebayo hits his career average, and you go down the line, I'm not sure you get enough points there. So players have to be better offensively. You can say, hey, we're going to make a system that'll make us better. No, you need to get more points out of players. Tyler Hero doesn't have to score, but he needs to score. Duncan Robinson doesn't have to score, but he needs to score. Max Strus has to make shots. He can't just be a summer league wonder. I think Eric Spoelstra will not address that, but you and I will hear twice a week on the Accurate Pembroke Pines report, and we'll talk about, is the Heat offense where it needs to be? Because I think that's going to be the story of the season, one untold from Eric Spoelstra, but one told here at least twice every week.
And this is kind of an unfair question to you because I know none of us have any kind of access to this.
Sure.
Do we know where Depot stands? Do we know how they're going to pace him? I guess you guys will probably ask Spo what's the plan for him throughout the year while he continues to rehab and get ready for whenever he makes his debut.
You know, it's interesting. The Heat asked us, if we can get you players ahead of the season, who would you like? List them in order. Like I told you, I'm getting Dwayne Dedmon later today. And so I put number 1 on my list, Victor. Number 2 on my list, Oladipo. Because, you are so correct. There is no bigger swing factor here.
Yeah.
There is no bigger swing state for the Miami Heat. We know this. He had his surgery in May for the quadricep. We know that the surgeon he went to, which was, interestingly, the Philadelphia 76ers team surgeon. Remember, he was an impending free agent. He didn't know if he'd be back with the Heat, so he went with what he thought was the best independent doctor. And that surgeon told Adrian Wojnarowski and ESPN that this time it's finally healed, that this time they got to the root of the problem. That wasn't necessarily the case previously with the Rockets or, of course, the Indiana Pacers. The thought was he would miss at least half the season because of caution, number 1. And because, at the time, we didn't even know where he would be playing. So I think midseason is still the goal. And, he answers all the questions. He checks all the box. He's another defender. He's another scorer. He's another guy that has played, honestly, at big moments in his career, even with the Pacers' limited
injury
success.
That's the only thing. Injury is the only problem with that
he's
kid.
The guy, when you talk to me about, could the Heat get John Wall, which we talked about with the contract? Can the Heat sign another player, which you mentioned salary cap-wise? They don't have the room for that. All their answers might be just the waiting game for Victor Oladipo, even if he's 75% of what he was. No other NBA team has a guy waiting in the wings outside of Kawhi Leonard with the Clippers, who they don't know, will he come back from his knee injury? Won't he come back this season? There's probably not another swing factor I can recall. You can talk about TJ Warren if you want in Indiana, who could have that much impact. The Miami Heat, and we talk about this also on Wednesday at the Pallet Rack City Inside the Paint show with Clay Ferraro. The Miami Heat, we talk about competitor and contender. The Miami Heat are a competitive team right now. The Miami Heat with Victor Oladipo are a contender. Because all of a sudden, against your Kyrie, Durant, and Harden, against your Giannis Antetokounmpo, Middleton, and Holiday, I can throw at you a Jimmy Butler, a Kyle Lowry, and a Victor Oladipo, and feel pretty confident in that. So yes,
Bam.
But I'm just saying, proven guy who's been there. Bam is coming along. He had that one NBA Finals run. He's still young. He's still a guy who I think.
But as a team defender, at least I don't have to behind those three. You know what I'm saying?
Two-way player, Jimmy, two-way player.
Yes.
Victor, two-way player. Kyle, two-way player. That's the difference. I think that can make a huge difference. And you know what's going to happen, and you know this. You were a Miami Heat reporter for years under the Riley regime. You know how this is. We will ask about Victor Oladipo, and Eric Spoelstra at every turn will tell us there's no new update. I don't have anything for you guys. He doesn't want that to become the Heat storyline. Pat Riley hates injuries. He has told his staff. He has told his media relations people. He has told the media, stop talking about injuries. Let's talk about the players who are there right now. So the Heat will downplay it, and it'll just happen organically. And all of a sudden, and we've seen this, on all injury reports in all sports. He'll go from out to doubtful to questionable, and all of a sudden he'll show up as probable one day. And when that day happens, Big O, everything changes for the Miami Heat.
That's going to be awesome, man. I would love for his sake, because obviously it's got to be incredibly frustrating to have the God-given ability to know that you're a proven player in this league, and yet your body doesn't hold up. That's got to be incredibly frustrating. We watch it all the time with Devontae Parker. You know the kid can play, and all the injuries have already taken a toll that he'll never be what he could have been, if he would have been able to reach his peak in this league. And all those injuries have taken a toll. And then you wonder also with Depot, with all these injuries, how much have they taken a toll? Can he be that guy you saw at his peak with Indiana, or is he a guy that maybe will have to pace himself because of all those injuries? That's a real shame. Do you see enough respect around the league for the Heat right now, or is there enough doubt out there to create motivation for the guys?
When you talk about respect, the only people we tend to hear are the media. And we've seen some questions. We've seen these media polls. They have the Heat fourth in the East. The NBA general managers poll will come out in a couple of weeks. That'll give us a little better sense. I don't necessarily disagree with their placement of the Heat as fourth in the East, because you have to be honest, though. The Brooklyn Nets shape up as a better team. The Milwaukee Bucks, defending champion, shape up as a better team. Now, most people have Philadelphia ahead of the Heat until they resolve their Ben Simmons situation. I sort of put them as an outlier. I don't know. I do like what the Boston Celtics have done in regrouping after losing Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier. So I think there will be an interesting team, how that comes around. Getting Dennis Schroeder on the cheap, getting Al Horford back for his big man play and his leadership versus Daniel Tice and what you were with. I think Boston's a concern. The East is good. I think that he can finish anywhere from 3, honestly, Big O, to 6, because I think you could put Philadelphia at 3. You could put Atlanta at 4, and all of a sudden you're sort of fighting right in there, maybe with the Knicks team, and maybe they hold their ground. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think it'll be an every game matters situation for the Heat, which is fascinating because they're an older team, and I don't know if they could play every game matter basketball when you have an older player like PJ Tucker and like Kyle Lowry, and to a degree even now like Jimmy Butler. It's going to be a real interesting balance. I would love for there to be more depth, Oladipo type depth, but that won't be there the first half of the season.
Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat. More importantly, catch his work at the South Florida Sun Sentinel, and please subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel like I and many others do. Support your local journalism. They do an excellent job of providing all the information we need as a community. And of course, you can catch Ira Winderman twice a week here with the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report Tuesdays and Fridays. And on Wednesdays, the Palette Rack City Inside the Paint show. Man, that show is going to get really, really juicy now when the season starts. Every week, Wednesdays, 10 to 11 a.m. with Ira and with Clay. Ira, as always, thank you for taking some time. Have a fantastic and safe weekend, my friend.
And anybody who thinks it's been a rough week, just keep this in mind. Unlike me, at least you're not a New York Giants fan. Thank you, Big O.
Yes, you are right, sir. There you go. Ira Winderman with the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, and NBA report.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
All righty, we are getting ready. We are going to have Brian Flores for you at the top of the hour. So we'll go over Brian Flores' press conference. We'll get his comments, and then we will comment on his comments, and we will break it all down for you, which we love it. We love it. We love it. Eric Rodriguez says, question. So you're saying the doctors haven't looked at his knee? Who said that, Eric? What would you think, sir? What kind of a question is that, man? Seriously. You think you're going to sign or trade for a player and not look at his body and not check it from top to bottom? Come on, dude. They know everything. We don't know anything. Do you understand the difference? They know everything. We know nothing. We are Sergeant Schultz. I don't know if you're old enough to know what the hell that means, but we know nothing. We know nothing. That's them. They know it. What kind of a question is that? So what you're saying is they haven't looked at his knee? I tell you, sometimes like being a parent on this show. 855-912-1056 is the text line. If you want to get in on the program, that's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the show, you can always reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. You got the YouTube channel right there. If you're watching on YouTube, you can chat. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. It is very important to smash that like button, por favor. That helps us get into the algorithms, and it gets out there more. Share the links to the show. Remember, Cash App or Venmo if you want to make a donation and help us grow. It's Cash Big O Show is the address. Cash Big O Show at Cash App or Venmo. All right. Appreciate it all. So smash, smash, smash Tony T comes in with Hogan's Heroes. That's right, sir. You are correct. I want to get into some Dolphins talk, but I want to hold off a little bit because we got a couple minutes here before we go to flow, and I won't be able to get in a flow to talk a little bit about some of the things I want to get into with the Dolphins. I got to give you my NFL picks for the week after going 4-4 last week against the spread. I really went 5-4, but I forgot to give my pick of the Raiders on air, so I screwed up there. And I still really couldn't believe I took the Raiders on Sunday night and ended up working out, which is crazy. Manny Navarro is set to join us at 11:30, so we'll break down Canes and Michigan State with him. Omar Kelly will stop by at 12:15 with the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. I want to get into a couple of news and notes for the Bills. I want to get into some of the Dolphin predictions that I read. I want to get into something about Tua also that I haven't spoken about that we need to talk about in this game. I want to talk about what I think is the keys to this game overall. So we got some stuff that I want to get into also on the program. We got some video I want to share with all of you. We got a couple of them. Sean's got them queued up. But again, I don't want to get into all of this now. Last night, Washington defeated the Giants 30-29 in that crappy-ass division. Terry McLaurin obviously was a nice fantasy player for some of you out there, 107 yards and a touchdown. I wonder if anybody starts Daniel Jones as your, like, you've got to be like a Giants homer. But, hey, man, that 95 yards rushing and the touchdown, that was that alone helped your fantasy night out because he threw for 249 and a touchdown. So it actually, fantasy-wise, he wasn't too bad. The Heineke kid was all right, man. He can fling the ball around a little bit. And he's like, yeah, I'm the guy. I want this job the entire year. And Fitz has got to say, oh, my God, my career is over. I got to move on somewhere else. And we'll see Fitz at 47 years old if he plays for somebody next year. We've got the Pirates and the Marlins tonight starting a weekend set. You know, we can't celebrate with the Marlins. No 100-loss season this year. That is awesome. 12 games are left, if I do my math correctly, right? Something like that, right? 16 games left, right? That's what it is, 162. So they're 62 and 84, so they got 16 games left. Huh? You're right. They will, yeah. But, I mean, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that they will not lose 16 straight.
It is the Marlins.
I know. You're right. But, I don't think they're going to lose 100. So that's, I'm gonna say that. But they're going to be in the 90s, which is, disappointing, of course, because they're at 84. And, they're not going to win. They're not going to go 8-8. And no, 8-8 would still put you in the 90s. They're not, well, whatever, but they're gonna lose quite a bit of games. Alistair Hernandez. Now, I will say this: I am looking forward to the Inter Miami games now get bigger and bigger and bigger as the season goes on. All right, let's take a quick break, and then we'll get to give me 30 seconds, and we're gonna get to Flo as he addresses the media.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
All right, we are back. Now we are going to wait for Mr. Brian Flores. You're going to pull up the press conference there. Let's pull it up. And the press conference too. Let's get ready. So that way when the coach appears, he will appear on your screen and he will address the meteors and they will ask plenty. Let's see. What else do we have here? Pat. Let's see. Chris Adams reminds everybody to hit the like button. Nice job by you, sir. Help Big O reach the Dolphins that can't find them or just don't know. It's one of the few ways we can thank him for his hard work and amazing content he gives us. Thank you, Chris. That is very kind of you, man. My man. I appreciate that. All right. C. Dola says, down here, every bar is a Dolphin bar this Sunday. Damn right. What else would it be? It's the only thing it can be. Little aqua and orange, baby. That's it. Let's see. Y'all don't need to pay that nasty Sunday ticket mafia. Plenty Euro sites with all the games and Red Zone for free. There are those. You can find those links. My buddy lives on those links. So yeah, you can. Blue Tie Limousine says, if Tua ends up being the fourth best QB in the division by the end of year, then the Dolphins will be forced to trade for Deshaun Watson. Changes the power structure in the AFC East. I love how people just want to look forward to the worst. Right? It's like they're 1-0. They got a shot at going 2-0, but let's talk about the quarterback becoming the worst quarterback in the division. Let's just talk about failure, because I love to torture myself. I want to talk about failure. I'd rather talk about Dolphins losing, because it's so fun to be, hypercritical and overreact and all those kind of juicy things. Why enjoy the moment? Why enjoy a victory in Foxborough? Why talk about a Buffalo game that maybe you go 2-0? No, let's just talk about the worst things that could possibly happen. Right? Yeah, let's just talk about Tua being terrible. It's awesome. I mean, it's fantastic how people just like to torture themselves. Can't enjoy what's going on. Why would I want to enjoy what's going on? The team has won a lot more than it's lost since the 0-7 start. They won 10 games last year, and they already started with 1-0, and they got a shot at going 2-0 this Sunday. And let me just think about the worst things that could possibly happen for the team. Which, by the way, not only does he torture himself by having Tua, then he wants to trade 4,000 picks for a player. So then weaken yourself again, It's just, I love that, man. It's just so fantastic how some of you just want to go on with that. No Flo yet? What's up with Flo, bro? Okay. Oh, so they haven't put it up on Twitter? Okay. All right. So maybe it's a Zoomer. Maybe it'll be put on. Maybe it'll be put on later. Okay. Well, we'll keep up with it, and maybe they'll put it up after, and then we'll go with it if they don't do that. There you go. So, Big O, what's the best way to attack Josh? I think you mean attack, not attach. Josh Allen. We get this win. I'll put it in front in the division, and we'll have the rest of them chafing all year or chasing all year. It's a must win, but it's not a must win, but it feels like it. It's on YouTube apparently. So check it out. So see if it's on the tube. If it's on the tube, then I don't know. Can we split screen on the tube? That's what we'll do. If we could go live from the tube, we'll do that. If Mac Jones ends up the fourth best QB in the division, the Pats will be forced to trade for Watson. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for putting a smile on my face. I love that. Oh man. All right. So I'll see if we don't have it on YouTube, then I do want to actually, that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about is here we go.
And have good fundamentals and techniques.
Let's go.
It's a good team.
Sorry, Flo. With Abel, I know he was up for the Chargers job last year and he didn't get it because the Bills were in the playoffs. Is there a part of you that was kind of, felt sorry for your friend? He couldn't get an opportunity, and also part of you like, damn, he's still in our division. We're gonna have to see him again.
I mean, I don't really think like that. Dave's is a friend. No, I don't I guess I don't really understand the question. There's a part of me that feels.
You want to see your friend get a coaching job.
Yeah, I mean, I want my friends to have success. I mean, I think that's what we all want for our friends, for the people who in our lives we have good relationships with.
Given, I guess, your relationship with Brian, how do you go about game playing against him? And obviously, you and Josh will have to know the
same way we do with every other. We go through our process. Dave's goes through his process. It's a collaborative effort for our staff to kind of try to put our players in the best positions to have success. Same thing with that they're doing. But this isn't we don't play. I think we all know that. If we played, it wouldn't be no good. So it's the players who go out there and either execute or don't execute. We just do our best to try to put them in good situations. Dave's is doing the same thing. Sean McDermott is another fantastic coach they have over there. He's doing the same thing. Leslie Frazier, Keith Farwell. They got a good staff. They got good players, and the players are the ones who are on the field, kind of executing. We just do our best to put them in good situations. So, that's that conversation.
Well, I noticed last week that the team was on the sideline during the national anthem. I was just curious if there's a policy change, or is that just a 1 week thing?
Yeah, we decided to go out for the national anthem, and we'll do that moving forward.
Coach, the other day Jerome said that fast starts were a big emphasis of the offseason for you guys. And over the course of your tenure here, fast starts has correlated to winning football games. I'm just curious if there's a specific thing that starting fast for this particular team, what that does to help you guys, win the game in the end.
I think starting fast is important. I think every team is saying that. You put a lot of work into the week. You want to see that preparation executed. If you can do it early, it'll help you. And we just think it's important to take every play, make every play count, take every play seriously. Obviously at the start of the game, but really all the way through.
Ryan, the NFL is having a new activity for Hispanic Heritage Month with Osuna and Victor Cruz. Are you participating in that? And if you could talk a little bit about your Garifuna culture, because the NFL is trying to bring that more to the front this month.
No, I don't. This is the first I'm hearing of this. Obviously, I've been bogged down with, trying to get ready for getting our team ready and getting ready for the season. I think the Garifuna culture is something a lot of people don't know much about. So basically, it's an African dialect that my parents speak. I don't speak it. So my parents speak Spanish, Garifuna, and English. There's a lot to the culture. I could stand here for hours talking about it. I'm not going to do that, but obviously, it's something that's important to me, and I have a lot of admiration for the culture, the history, and yeah.
Sometimes
No punta from me. Not gonna happen.
Thank you, Brian.
Well, I guess you've seen Josh Allen the last 3 years here. How would you describe his maybe development from the other side as you've defended him?
He's got, I think the big thing is confidence. I think he's got more of a presence, more command of the offense, which comes from spending time in the offense. He's obviously gotten a lot of reps and seen a lot of different looks and has a better understanding of defense. Knows where he wants to go with the ball, knows the skill set of the guys on his offense, really across the board, receivers, tight ends, backs, offensive line, knows his own skill set, knows that, things break down, he can make a positive play with his legs. So, yeah, a lot of growth there.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you.
All right, pretty uneventful outside of Will Fuller, and I gotta say, some of you out there, you're so ridiculous. Seriously. Like, you some of you out there, see, this is the reason why sometimes people don't respect fans, because fans are insensitive, fans say stupid things. Fans never a lot of times fans
quality sleep from Sleep Number because
a lot of times fans don't think before they actually say something. And some of you out there like Fuller is fleecing the Dolphins of 10 million. The guy has a personal issue. Sounds like something with his family or something like that. If it's making him, miss practice and miss the game, who knows what's going on? Have some respect, man. Something's going on with the guy. It has nothing to do with an injury. And here's the other thing. You know why, whoever put there on fleecing the Dolphins, how it's a stupid comment? I don't think you realize this. Will Fuller needs this season more than the Dolphins. Will Fuller needs this season more than Tua does, more than Flo does, more than anybody on the Dolphins. He's only got a 1-year deal because nobody would give him a multi-year deal. So this is a prove-it-like deal. And then he gets older and older if this year tacks on. So for him, whatever personal issue it is, I wish him the best on that personal issue. We don't know what it is. Give them, you guys overreact about something like somebody, cut his ass. Well, how do you know what's going on has nothing to do with him? It's something out of control. How do you know he doesn't have somebody really sick? How do you know there wasn't a tragedy in his family or something? And you're going to allow somebody to take care of your family first. I mean, this is why, what was it? The dude yesterday that was offsides was getting death threats. Seriously? You're a fan? You're going to send death threats because your Giants lost? How pathetic can you be? It's just sad sometimes. Some of you, you got to kind of take a step back and maybe grow up too a little bit. Maybe, you know what? Take a moment and chill out, bro. I mean, give me a break, dude. We have no idea what the hell's going on with the guy. Now, if he's constantly getting injured, then I'm with you. Cut him, move on, whatever. But it doesn't seem like it's an injury right now. Has nothing to do with an injury. It's a personal issue. So let's respect that at least. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing we missed. Preston Williams is improving with the knee. He won't commit to when he's going to make a debut or anything like that. So we'll see what ends up happening. But sad part is, I hope everything works out for Will Fuller, because it sounds like it's something, personal that I'm sure he wasn't looking forward to dealing with. And the way Flo said it, that, things happen in life that, let me see the exact quote to read it for you guys. Because I think I saw, what's it called? Barry Jackson or let's see. He will respect Fuller's privacy by not revealing more. He said it came as a surprise and things arise in our lives suddenly. Fuller won't practice today or play Sunday, not injury related. That's never know, man. Someone passed away in his family. Someone had a car accident. Someone got COVID and is sick in the hospital or whatever. Not that you can visit them, but maybe you can console the family, whatever it is. Something's going on, man. And the young man's going through some kind of an issue. Let's have some respect first, and let's wait till we actually find out what it is. Family is more important than football. I get it. Some of you out there are just Neanderthals, and you just want these people to be machines and not be human beings whatsoever, and not have a life outside of football, not care about a family outside of football, not have any worries outside except giving you a W. Because, of course, if they're offsides on a field goal, we have to send them death threats. Right, because, that's the mature way of handling a silly-ass game. Really, it's just, it's just pathetic. Come on, let's go. Big O, they need to put their big boy pants on and take off the diapers and join the rest of us. Exactly, right. The rest of what? You? Love Will Fuller, but there's a reason why 32 out of 32 teams won't give him a 2-year deal. Hopefully he plays this season. What is that? What's that stupid statement mean, Brennan? So something happened in his family. It's out of his control. So let's blame him now? Is that how it goes? So the day you had to leave work or something because something happened to a family member, well, then you're a loser of an employee then, right? Is that how it goes? I got it, Brennan. I got it. That's how you roll. Okay. So I guess when you're working and a family member crashed and they need help, you tell them, no, I'm at work. Screw you. I'll call you after work. Is this a Geico commercial? Because we got squirrels like running all over the place.
We almost got attacked. He went underneath the front of the tablecloth here and then ran back out. So I thought we were getting attacked.
Okay, all right. Well, as long as he doesn't go after D's nuts. All right, anyway, let's remember you can reach out to us on the text line, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. Let's get past these pathetic comments because obviously some of you just are a bunch of Neanderthals and you have no heart whatsoever. And all you do is think about the game and human beings don't matter at all, which is pretty pathetic. Let's talk a little bit about going after Josh Allen in this game. And they gotta listen. One of the things that Pittsburgh did this past week was make them very human, very normal. And in that game, in the 23-16 win, Singletary had 11 rushes for 72 yards and no touchdowns. Diggs had 9 receptions, but for 69 yards. Josh Allen was 30 of 51. He threw the ball 51 times and completed 30 and had 270 yards and a touchdown. He also ran the ball 9 times for 44 yards. So Beasley was 8 receptions, but 60 yards. And that's what's going to happen in this game. You're going to have to make their numbers pedestrian. That's how they beat them 23-16. Now, how do you make their numbers pedestrian, ladies and gentlemen? This is going to be the key. It's pass rush. And last week, I made a mistake with Joe Shad on the air. I thought it was 0, but they did credit them with 1 sack. Well, that's not good enough this week against the mobile Josh Allen. And he has killed them with his legs, not just his arm. Also, remember, the Bills have won 5 straight against the Miami Dolphins. So they've got Ogba has got to be a monster. Van Ginkel has got to get to the quarterback. Sealer, Egwavon, Christian Wilkins, Jerome Baker. You're going to have to send a corner, a safety every once in a while. You're going to have to hit this guy. Even when you don't sack him, you need to hit him. To me, that's what it's going to be. You've got a really good secondary. And this time around, it's not like you're serving up a rookie that doesn't have a lot of experience. You've got X out there and you've got Byron Jones, and Nick Needham has been playing some tough football. And I think you've improved your safety play too with Holland in there. So I think overall you got enough to stay with these guys. But part of staying with these guys is the guys up front. And while it's not anything shocking that what I'm telling you, of course you got to pressure the quarterback every week in a passing league. But this has got to be a kind of controlled type pressure. It's got to be a way where you keep him and you keep him in the pocket and you get after him at the same time, where he's in there and he's stuck like a pinball machine, hitting the bumpers and going back and forth and all that good stuff. You kind of have, he needs to be in that kind of an environment on a consistent basis. That's what I'm hoping for. If they're going to win this game, to me, it's all about constant pressure on him. Even when you don't get to him, he feels you one way or another. And then, of course, that secondary has got to do the same thing that the Steelers did. They can't allow these guys to be making the big plays. They're going to move the ball because they're a good offense. They've got weapons, so it's really hard to kind of stop that offense and shut it down. I would love to see that by the Miami Dolphins. That would take a Herculean effort on their defense in order to do something like that. But I think they can do enough where they, the bending and not breaking thing that they've done pretty well here in the last, I would say a little over a year and a half, because it was started really at the end of the first season where the defense got better and it was kind of bending and not breaking at times and creating turnovers. And they did all of that last year at times. And they did it in week 1 also with the Patriots, where they made them, okay, between the 20s, you kind of move the ball, but then we made you settle for field goals at times instead of 7 points. And when they did that enough, they kept themselves in the game and they were able to win 17-16. Last week, my prediction was 24-16 Dolphins. I got one of the scores right, the Patriots. I didn't get the right score for the Dolphins. They needed one more touchdown to complete the connection. I think this is going to be a game that's going to be slightly higher scoring on both sides of the ball. And I think it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of a 24-20 game is what I'm going to see. And I'm going 20 instead of 21 because I'm counting on the Dolphins to make them pedestrian at times and force them to settle for field goals. Now, I was really looking forward to Will Fuller adding something. Unfortunately, he's not going to play this week. So I'm glad that Shaheen is back. That adds something on the tight end side. Now, Albert Wilson gets another week to kind of prove himself that those 10 games weren't a fluke. So let's hope that he's able to make a bigger impact on a consistent basis. I know he had a shot for that one play, but they need a shot than more than one play in that one. They need him to become a little bit more impactful in this game. It would be really, really nice. So let's hope that the boys can come up with the pressure they need in order to win this game. All right. So there you go. What else do we have here that I wanted to talk about? Let me see. We got Hurricanes taking on Michigan State. Michigan State, by the way, Hurricanes are favored by 6. I have already taken Michigan State. The over and under is 56. I got to tell you, when I saw Mike Harley say we're just one play away, I started laughing. Because if you really think you're one play away, it's kind of like the Dolphin fans for years used to tell me, like in the Wanstead era or what's it called, Sperano or something, and they would tell me, well, we're just one player away or something. And no, you're not. You're several players away from really making an impact. A lot of people, when they sign in Dominic, this is going to make our defense elite. I was like, no, it's not. A defensive tackle that isn't a sack guy is not going to turn your defense around, ever. And when I hear Mike Harley, that tells me that the coach has been preaching that to them, and he's misleading them. I did like that the offensive coach this week, the line coach, kind of trashed his offensive line. Although, in today's millennial Generation Z world, I don't know if they can handle really tough criticism. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how. I wonder how we all made it in life with the rip jobs we got when we were kids. From teachers, your coaches, your parents. Like it was the norm. It was the norm. You would, every once in a while, you had that kid in the classroom that was a complete disaster, and the teacher would just blurt out, "You're never going to be anything in life," or whatever, something like that. Nowadays, you'll get fired if you do something like that, and the kid will cry for the rest of his life.
Yeah, or when you knew you messed up and nobody said anything, you'd be like, "What's wrong with me?"
Right. Yeah.
What's wrong? Why are they not yelling at me?
Right.
That was like, wait a minute, they've given up on me.
Right.
They've given up on me. They're not yelling at me anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I see Mike Harley with that. We're just one play away, and I kind of laugh, and that this is the coddling that's going on, and it'll be interesting to see how the offensive line responds this week after getting trashed. If they get we used to get motivated from getting trashed. Hell, for years I remember seeing artists or actors or whatever, and they would say, my fifth grade teacher once told me I would never amount to anything or whatever, and that always stayed with me, and I just want to tell that teacher, and then you just later, like, F you. I told you I'd turn into something, because we would just like use it as motivation, not crawl into a corner and start crying and pouting and all that. So I'd like to see if the Hurricanes have some thick skin this week, and actually, I got to tell you something. I'm going to be impressed if they beat Michigan State. Yeah. I'll be impressed. Why? Because I have such low standards already for this university and this head coach that I just, what can I tell you? So we'll see what happens with the Canes and Michigan State. But Mike Harley, thank you for the entertainment, young man. I really appreciate that. One play away. Yeah, sure. I'm only a couple of bucks away from being a billionaire. That's all I can tell you. You too? You're only a couple bucks away from being a billionaire also? Is that what it is?
I'm just riding on your coattails, man.
There you go. So we're both just a couple of bucks away from being billionaires. There you go. How about that? You know what we are? We're just one Venmo or Cash App donation away from being billionaires. How about that, huh? Cash Big O Show. Any of you out there want to drop, couple mil? We don't mind. We really don't mind. It can really help the show and help our lives. I promise you, if you drop us a couple of mil here, we will do a show outside the Playboy Mansion. I don't know if they'll let us in, but somehow or another, we'll park ourselves right in front of the Playboy Mansion and do a show. So there you go. Is that all right with you? Okay, just outside. We'll just do it.
Throw up the table and everything. We'll be ready to go.
No, we'll do it on a flatbed.
Okay.
So we'll be ready to go just in case they screw with us.
Just hit the gas.
Just hit the gas and we're gone. You know what I mean? You and I will be on the flatbed. We'll have Bill driving. Okay? So that way, if they say anything, Bill just drives us right the hell out, and then we'll go over to Sunset Boulevard, and then
that works.
You know what I mean?
That's all we need. Cash App or Venmo.
So that's it. Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. Drop a couple million, and we will provide the kind of entertainment that you were never expecting from this show. Okay? Mark NorCal says, I am one doobie away from the munchies. Well, that's a good doob to be away from. Made us tough. These kids are soft. That I will agree 1,000% in today's world. These kids are soft. There is no doubt in my mind. And for the few of you parents out there that have been really hard on your kids and they've been able to respond, God bless you. God bless you. Because, that's the way. Teach your kids, bring them up tough, man. Because this is a brutal world, man. This is a brutal world. And if they think they're going to grow up in fantasy land, right? Because that's kind of you almost get that impression. They, as Judas Priest would say, they got another thing coming. Okay. Let's see. I'm hoping Davis just needs more time. Every time the Dolphins make it appear it's just a minor IR injury, the player is gone for the year. Let's see. What else do we have here? Will Fuller, another gem by Chris Greer. Greer is the gift that keeps on giving. Fuller has personal issues. Don't we all? I love that. You guys are just absolute idiots. Absolute idiots. Complete morons. Tuttle Army comes in. You're such a radio geek, Tuttle. A hurricane's effing blow. Yes, and I'll give you the voice and everything that went with the Neil drop. She knows all the one-liners from the Neil era and all that time. You are such a radio maven. Oh, Lordy. All right, let's get to it. It is time to talk a little Canes. When we talk Canes, we talk pain. And we're out here at Canes Where? At 2511 South University Drive. So come on out, get your gear, get it ready, cheer on the Canes against Michigan State, or you can get your Inter Miami gear cheering on Inter Miami tonight against the Red Bulls, or you can get your Marlins gear, or maybe not, or you can get your Dolphins gear getting ready to take on the Bills. I mean, they take care of you, man. Heat training camps right around the corner, Heat gear. Panthers are right around the corner, Panthers gear. Come on, baby. They've got it all for you here at Canes Wear. So now let's go to our Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right, we're back. We promised you were going to talk a little Canes football. Manny Navarro, who covers the Canes on a daily basis for The Athletic, joins us. And, of course, you can follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. More importantly, subscribe to The Athletic and catch his terrific work. Manny, in today's world and in today's millennials and Generation Zs, we got to kind of handle them with kid gloves. And we got to be kind and courteous, and we can't be tough with them. And so I'm wondering the tough love that they showed this week, especially the offensive line coach. I'm wondering how they will handle that because, I was just talking about this earlier. We all grew up with our teachers ripping us, right? I mean, how many times did you hear in your classroom your teacher tell a kid, you'll never amount to anything? Would you do that now? You'll get fired as a teacher if you do that now. If you attack these kind of kids. We used it as motivation when they told us, you can't do this, you can't do that. That's kind of, we got angrier and we wanted to prove you wrong is what we did. We didn't cower into a corner. So how is the O-line group going to respond from the public criticism?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting storyline, Big O. I'll tell you this. If you remember correctly, go back in the time machine with me. How did the previous offensive line coaches talk about this group, right? They were always sort of saying lack of confidence, that we need to inject confidence in these guys. Now Garen Justice in year 2, and we're still talking about injecting confidence into these guys. I just think sometimes players have it and sometimes they don't. And I think, unfortunately for Miami, a lot of these guys are head cases. And so I don't know. I have no idea how tough love is going to get them anywhere. I know this. I know if Navon Donaldson wants to play in the NFL, he's got to come back with a vengeance the rest of the season and play at the best of his game. Oh. And so does DJ Scaife, and so do all these guys who have basically played a lot, but they haven't done a lot. And
I know, but talking about, I'm so tired about Navon Donaldson already at this point. Yeah. Like if I'm an NFL team, I'm like, well, wait a minute. This guy's overweight. He's lazy. He's inconsistent. Outside of that, yeah, he might be a good player. Huh? What? Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
no, it's over. It's over, Big O. I mean, in my opinion, I'm just saying to me, that's the only motivation, right? At this point,
right. Yeah.
If nothing else has worked, it's that. It's, hey, you haven't done your job to get yourself drafted. And now you got to go out there and play out of your mind the rest of the season. If that doesn't work, then it doesn't work. And these guys are just all flops. And so, look, I don't think he's going to play this week a whole lot anyway. I think Justice Oluwaseun is going to be moved into the right guard spot. I think you're going to see Jared Williams see his first real action of the season at right tackle, and that's who they're going to roll with.
And I start to think about this. Oh, my God, how things have gotten even worse. Mm-hmm. Let me walk you through this, Manny. we used to go through the issue of they didn't know how to use Devin Hester, and then he goes to the NFL and becomes the greatest returner in the history of the game. Sam Shields couldn't find any playing time, and then he goes and becomes a hell of a corner, gets himself a nice big contract, had a nice little career. Greg Olsen was kind of an underachiever here at the University of Miami, and then went on to the Hall of Fame because Canton should be waiting for that dude. You know what I'm saying? He's got Canton-like numbers. He can be in that category. We used to see guys come here and underachieve because the coaches weren't getting it done. Well, you and I have been talking about this over the last year or two. We're not watching nearly as many players go to the league. So that's how much of a drop-off that there is. It's not, these guys aren't good enough for the league, and they're also failing here at the college level. So we can't necessarily blame the coaches for not developing something that they never had in a way, but we can blame the coaches for getting players that aren't good enough in the end.
Correct. Right. And to me, if somebody's really talented, then you see it show on Sundays, right? Like you mentioned, Greg Olsen, Sam Shields is another great example, right? A guy who couldn't play receiver, but he turned into a guy who made a Pro Bowl as a cornerback in the NFL, a guy who played 10 years with the Packers. And so, to me, I think what's happening here is, yes, the talent isn't as good. And part of the reason is we've gotten further along in the level of mediocrity. I mean, how many players have now grown up with the University of Miami? The only good times they saw them is on Billy Corbin's movie, right? I mean, that's the only. Wow. If it's not for the ESPN 30 for 30, when was the last time these guys have seen a good Miami team? That one night against Notre Dame? Is that what we're going to hang our hat on for the last 20 years?
Right.
So the players aren't as good. And one thing I'll say, that I think is unfortunate. And again, I have no knock on the recruiting guys. They're doing their job. They're ranking 350 kids, either 5 or 4-star every single year. I just think in the old days, when a guy was a top 100 player, it meant something. Nowadays, so many people get caught up in the recruiting rankings, Big O. I mean, so many. And I have to educate people when I talk to them one-on-one. The more guys that are ranked 4 stars, okay, the fact that you got 350 of those guys now every single year, the more stories, the more subscriptions you sell, the more people buy into the hype. Oh, we got this great recruit who's coming in. He's a 4. And so there's not that many good players. There just isn't. And there's this assumption that because a guy is a 4-star that, the coaches aren't cutting it. They're not no. The reality is there's only 100 or so elite players that come out every year in the country. Some years, maybe you have 120. Some years you only have 80. But the point is, Miami hasn't got enough of those guys. They've gone to the Alabamas and to the Clemsons and to the Ohio States because the team's winning. And so Miami gets maybe a handful of guys every year you could say, yeah, that guy could play in the NFL. The rest of them, no. And in years past, 15, 20 years ago, they were the Alabama and Ohio State. They were getting the 15 to 20 guys per year that could play in the NFL. And that's just not happening anymore. So I think, yes, there's a drop-off in talent that needs to be observed. And I think people need to stop paying attention to recruiting rankings and think, hey, because this guy's a 4-star, you should expect him to be this good. No. If the guy's not a top 100 ranked player, I always tell people he's just another guy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Manny, how in the hell are the Canes favored by 6? What are they smoking in Vegas? Because no, seriously, dude, because and they're really good. I know that they build palaces over there on our money, so I completely understand that. But every once in a while, there are lines that I don't understand, and this is one of them. I mean, I hope the Canes win by 60, not by 6. But I gotta be honest. Undersized defense, undersized linebackers. They're rushing for 300 yards a game. Underperforming team. So if you do control the ball on the ground, that's less of King out there. I fear the hell out of this game, actually, overall, because I think Miami has the kind of defense that can get pushed around, and I've watched them get pushed around by Appalachian State a little bit here. So why wouldn't I figure that the Big Ten, who has these corn-fed dudes that are huge on the line, should be able to push these guys around? I fear the hell out of this game.
Well, you should on paper. I think without question, you look at this matchup and you say Michigan State, they've played a lot better than Miami in their first 2 games. Granted, not the same level of competition, but they beat Northwestern soundly on the road, a team that was in the Big Ten championship game last year. And then they crushed Youngstown State like they're supposed to, 42-14. So on paper, you can say, hey, Mel Tucker's second season, they've got their act together. in all reality, breaking down both these rosters, Colton Pounty, who covers Michigan State for us over at The Athletic, he and I did sort of a back and forth this week. I really think these are two very evenly matched teams in the sense that they've got a very experienced offensive line like Miami, 9 guys, I think, who have 161 combined starts. But they're just like Miami in the sense that before this season, they were pretty bad on the offensive line.
Okay.
So,
okay.
And this Kenneth Walker kid, yes, he ran for 267 yards, I guess, against Northwestern in the opener. But he was at Wake Forest last year. He was the backup. So, I think, breaking them down, they got 2 receivers on the outside that can make explosive plays, but they don't have a tight end. Defensively, they don't have a ton of sacks, just like Miami. Their linebackers, one of them's a transfer from Tennessee. They're not great, okay? And they've got they got one safety back there who's probably an NFL player like Miami who has Bubba Bolden, right? So to me, I look at it and I'm like, these teams are pretty even. Miami's playing at home. It's going to be hot. I'm picking Miami to win this game by a field goal. I think it's going to be tight. I think it can go the other way just as easily, but I don't think Michigan State is decisively better or more talented than Miami. I just think they're very, very even on paper.
Why does Mike Carley keep thinking they're one play away? That's
he means from clicking and getting the offense going, right?
I get that part, but they're not. That's not true. They're tons of series away from actually developing and getting that offense going. One play is not going to click an entire offense. You got to get several series together and start stringing it together, to put together the offense that you need, especially in college football and football, period, because the NFL is like that too. There's less and less defense in the NFL also, dude. I mean, give me a break. The NFL is it's college football on steroids is what it is. More than ever, I never thought when I was young, I'm sure you didn't either, that college football was going to influence the NFL as much as it has. And it has, dude. That's something we grew up with the NFL influencing college football. Now it's the other way around. So I see very little of that right now. But Harley, come on, dude. This is maybe the coaches telling him, come on, guys, we're one play away from getting this thing started, and they're just going out there and repeating it.
Oh, there's no question. That's exactly what that is, and players do that all the time. We've seen it for years. Miami's coaches are trying to build confidence for these guys because right now, let's face it, they just haven't been cutting it. Derek King has 1 touchdown pass through 2 games. That's not going to win you anything. That's not going to get you anywhere, even in the mediocre Coastal Division. So, to me, Mike Harley's had 2 drops. Xavier Strepo's had at least 2 drops. Will Mallory had an important drop the other day. They've regressed to where they were before the second half of last season. That's what I see. I see an offense that was playing like the first half of last season. Now, could it change? Absolutely, because we saw when De'Ara King and Mike Harley were connecting, that this offense could score 44 points on the road at NC State. So, yes, are they one play away in their minds? Maybe. I think they're where they really need to get better at, and I highlighted this in my story this week, is the intermediate passing game. De'Ara last year was completing over 55% of his passes between 10 and 19 yards, 9 touchdowns, 1 interception the whole season. This year, he's 7 of 16. From that range, the intermediate range. They're taking the middle of the field away. So Derek has to adjust. He has to run. He has to be the running quarterback that we saw last week against Appalachian State. And he's got to be able to hit his guys underneath who then create the play after the catch, right? That's what they need to do. And they just haven't done it yet. They dropped passes last week against App State. Michigan State's going to run the same kind of defense. They don't have Jalen Phillips or Gregory Rousseau in their front. They don't have anybody who's going to come in and sack De'Ara King 7 times. I just think they're going to play that same type of defense. It's going to be up to De'Ara to pick them apart. And if he does, and Miami wins this game, maybe by more than 6.5 points. But I don't think they're there yet. I think they're going to get going some. I just don't think they're going to be rocking and rolling. And I will say this, their offense should be better. I mean, you have Keyshawn Smith and Charleston Rambo. You have 2 more weapons on the outside than you had last year when you had Mark Pope and D. Wiggins dropping everything deep. Now these guys can hold on to the football. You saw it. You saw that ridiculous catch that Keyshawn Smith came up with, the twisting catch. Charleston. So that's element of this offense that they didn't have last year that can make them better, and why I thought they could average 40 points a game this year because of those 2 guys.
Yeah, and listen, the tight end, I think the tight end should be a stud every every week for this team. You talk about the short to mid range passing game. Well, that's the dude that should be catching the ball and then getting some yak after that.
Yeah, and I think we'll see some of Elijah Arroyo this week. I don't think Miami coaches are messing around. I think you're going to see this kid in an H-back formation, especially with the fact that they're only down to one real healthy running back in Cam Harris. So you could see a lot of Elijah Arroyo and Will Mallory in an H-back type role where they're blocking probably 70% of the time and then leaking out to catch a pass whenever De'Eric has to get rid of the ball. So I think that's what you're going to see this week. And I think Arroyo, who looks very, very good. Oh, he does. This kid from Texas that they got. I think you're going to see him make some plays this week.
Let's hope so. What's the prediction? Who do you got winning?
I picked Miami 34-31. I think if they win this game, it's going to be an offensive shootout. If the offense doesn't show up, I think they've got no chance in this. The defense isn't good enough to stop that running game and Kenneth Walker. So Kenneth Walker's going to get his. Especially with cutbacks. I mean, if you go back and you break down the film of the App State game, Miami was over pursuing constantly, out of position. The counters were working. So I think they're going to give up a few rushing touchdowns in this game. And their quarterback, Michigan State's quarterback, isn't bad. He's a good player, and he's got two guys on the outside. Miami's had enough breakdowns in the secondary to convince me they're going to give up points. So I think Miami somehow finds a way with De'Eric King and probably their kicker, who's very good, that Andy Borregales kid, to win this game 34-31.
So in the end, Manny approves of me taking Michigan State +6. All right, good stuff there.
Go ahead.
And follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro, and catch him twice a week here, Tuesdays and Fridays, with the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. Manny, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Enjoy the game this weekend.
Thank you, bro. I'm gonna keep growing this beard out until Miami actually shows up. I'm waiting for that to happen. That's gonna be my signal.
I like the mic too, by the way. Nice job by you.
Appreciate it, brother.
Sounds awesome. There you go. Good job. All right, Manny. Catch you next week, brother. Be good.
See ya.
There you go. It is Manny Navarro and the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
All right, we're back. Appreciate Manny as always. We're out here at Caneswear, 2511 South University Drive in Davie. Come on out. Always great sights out here when you come out to Caneswear. Great opportunity to load up on all your Canes and Dolphins and Inter Miami, Miami Heat, Florida Panthers. Come on, man. Come on out here and get the stuff. Some guy says, what was it that Sapp was on with Hawk and Crowder yesterday and said Diaz is not the guy. So, Troy, let me ask you something. Okay? I know Warren Sapp is probably better at, mishandling prostitutes than anything else. But just out of curiosity, did you really need Warren Sapp to tell you that Diaz is not the guy? I'm just wondering. Really? You didn't figure that out for yourself? I'm glad that I wasn't in the car at the moment and made the mistake of turning it on and hearing that guy, because obviously I would have immediately gone to another channel. I would have looked for anything else, play some music, whatever. Who the hell wants to hear what Warren Sapp has to say anyway? But I'm just wondering, did you really need Sapp to tell you that? I don't know. That nugget you felt like you had to pass on to me. Does it look like I really needed that information? Have I been saying that Manny's the guy or something? I don't know. I must have missed it. Hey, Sapp was on, and he says Manny's not the guy. He's the authority. I love that. Big OGM, what can you tell us? about Will Fuller? I don't know, bro. I'm not in his private life. I don't know. I have no idea. Signal is skipping. Oh, I see. I can't. Well, mine is on mine doesn't count because mine is on internet. How about there? Is it skipping there? It's on mine. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. Oh, love hearing Manny and hearing about the Canes. Well, you'll get to hear more about it all year long. It won't be good, unfortunately, but you'll hear about it. That's for sure. Richard says Hurricanes 6-6 at best. Yeah, that's probably what they are. A 6-7 win team, brother. I can't argue with that one. Let's see. Brett Favre played the day after his father died. Just saying. That's fine. And does that make it right for everybody else to do it? Does everybody grieve the same way? I'm sure there are people that probably played on the day somebody died. I mean, you can't tell somebody how to grieve, my brother. Some people may want to work to kind of forget about what's going on or those kind of things. You don't control how people grieve. And I'm not saying anybody died. I'm not saying anything. I don't know what it is. So by saying that he played after he died doesn't mean jack. Because you don't know what's going on with Will Fuller. None of us know. We know it's a personal issue and that Coach Flores chose to, respect his privacy. And he clearly said in life, some things happen. And so the way he was kind of talking about it, it was something that all of a sudden reared itself, and now he had to go address it. And it might be something that's affecting his family, man. I mean, I'm not jumping to any conclusions here. The only thing I'm going to do is respect the man's privacy. That's it. The game against the Bills is not important for him, man. Well, obviously, what's important for him is his family, and that should be, by the way, your priority too. Okay? Just like you should attend your family before you go to a job, you should attend your family before you play a game. I get it. It affects your Neanderthal ass. So because it affects your Neanderthal ass, you don't care about the human being and what they could be going through, which could be something incredibly mentally torturous. But you don't care because the only thing that's important is that he gets on the field and wins for the Dolphins. Screw his life, screw his family, screw whatever personal thing he's going through, because, of course, the only thing important is the game. I got it. I understand all of that. Okay? Yeah, everybody keeps saying the signal is skip the Lulu, my darling. So what can I tell you? I can't do anything. Yeah, can't tell you anything about that. Anyway, don't forget, you can always reach out to us on the text line. We got a text line now, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. Oh, man, it's so good keeping that door open. Oh, my God. That AC is hitting me, man. That is so good. Anyway, you can reach out to us there on the text line if you want. You can reach out on the YouTube chat page there. Of course, email bigoRadioshow@yahoo.com. Twitter, Big O Show. Many ways to reach out to the program. Always appreciate all of you out there and the support that you constantly give us every single day. Hard Knocks is going to live to fight another day. In fact, it will return next season, even though it was kind of lame. I don't know what they're going to do to make it better if you don't have the juicy moments, because dysfunctional and, the train wreck is what we want to see in today's world. That's just the way it goes. And if you take the train wreck component out of the series, it kind of takes away from it, right? Because that's kind of what we like, the drama and the train wreck and all that good stuff. So they are now going to do an in-season Hard Knocks with the Indianapolis Colts. November 17th, it will air a multi-episode show with the Colts. A couple years back, they did it with a couple hockey teams, and they actually did a really nice job. I don't know if anybody saw those. Oh, excuse me, because I know most of you probably don't give a rat's ass about hockey, but I thought it was actually a pretty cool series that they did. So we'll see if it is the case. Willie says, Big O, you mad with me? No, I'm not mad with anybody. I'm just saying, if you're treating Will Fuller like your game is more important than his family, I think you're a jerk at the moment. That's all. I think you're a senseless jerk. I think you're insensitive. I think you're self-centered. I think you're immature. So I don't know, Willie. I don't know if you fall in that line with the other people that are saying stupid comments about Will Fuller. But yeah, that's the way I feel. I'm not mad at you guys. Doesn't affect my world. I'm just telling you, you're being an asshole. That's all. I'm the tough love guy here on the show and in life. I'm going to tell you the truth, and then I'm going to move on, and it's not going to affect my world or anything with you, but I'm just going to tell you at the moment that if you're actually, thinking that Will Fuller's personal issue is not as important as your game, you're pretty pathetic right now. That's all. So if you can't really understand that, I can't help you here. I know, Mike. I know you are a Islanders and a hockey fan, and I don't know if you watched that series. I forgot what company had it, but it was. I think it was the Red Wings, if I remember correctly. Was it the Red Wings? Forgot now, but it was good actually. So we'll see. He goes, what is a team going to reveal in season? Well, I don't think it's the X's and O's. You know what? I'm not even going to guess because they've limited the other hard knocks now. So I don't know what they're going to do in a league where these coaches are constantly paranoid. So it's not going to be X's and O's. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to be in the locker room when they lose or when they get cut, which they're not doing it anymore in the preseason one. I don't know. I don't know, my brother, but they better do something to add some drama to it, because if there isn't any drama, then it's not going to fly. It's about your teja, LOL, Big O. Oh, I have no idea what, bro. I haven't seen I can't. The one thing that, it's great to have a ton of people on the chat board nowadays, but the thing that has changed from the earlier days are I don't get to see all the texts, man, because there's too many coming in. So I
was going back. Willie Molina, he was saying he wasn't talking about Will Fuller.
What was he talking about? My hair, he says, huh? Is that what it is?
I don't know. He just says,
he said tejas. So tejas in Spanish has to do with my hair. So okay. I don't know. I don't know if he was complaining about my hair, making fun of my hair. I doubt he was complimenting my hair, because people don't compliment my hair. There's nothing to compliment. It's just there.
Just like mine.
It's just there, It's just hair, There's nothing to it, It's just there.
Yeah, I went back through for a little bit, and I don't see anything else on there, so
okay.
I'm 100% sure.
I don't know what he's talking about. But if it's not about the ridiculous comments of Fuller, you're good with me. Okay? Toto wants to tell you, everybody, that video quality just improved on her end. Okay? So it's all better now. Good morning, Big O, from here in Arizona. Fins up, God bless. What young men and older veterans and coaches go through day in and day out? Maybe. Michael Rodriguez, great Fuller isn't hurt and still isn't playing. Like, what the F? One of our biggest games, Miami this year, and our biggest free agent signing isn't hurt, but he still isn't playing. And Michael, what else? So you don't care that he has a personal issue either. Man, I have, wow. I didn't know so many of you are such insensitive idiots, man. Seriously, I had no idea there were that many of you that were going to be such freaking Neanderthals about this. The guy's having a serious family issue. that he's forced to walk away from the game for the moment. And we're just going to make light of it. Triana says, oh, random question. Because I watched the movie Miracle last night, what's your favorite sports-related movie? Wow. The Natural is one. God. There's so many. I do love Remember the Titans. I can watch that over and over, except when the kid dies in the car accident. God, I hate that part. Can't stand that part. When a kid dies in the damn car accident. That just sucks. Hoosiers. Yeah, he's paralyzed. Yeah. Hoosiers is another that I can watch on a freaking loop, dude. Huh? Little Giants? Sandlot? But I don't know, is that sports related or is that hobby related in a way, kid related? I don't know, but I'll go with those three right there. I love those. Those are great movies. I'll go with that. Oh, in this world, people have a lot of cold hearts. People need to stop looking at this cop-out. People need to relax and let him handle what he has to handle and win it for him and pray for him. Thank you, Alex. Thank you for being an effing human being, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. Awesome job by you, Alex. I love you for that. That's what we got to do. Be human beings. Have some empathy. Have some understanding. The man clearly is going through something. And as I said earlier to all of you out there, which some of you may not have been listening, you have to understand this. Will Fuller needs this season more than anyone else. More than Tua, more than the Dolphins, more than his agent needs the commission, more than you need a win. He needs this season more than anything else because nobody was giving him a multi-year deal. So Miami gave him a prove-it deal, which is great because it keeps him motivated. But I'm sure he's as frustrated not being able to be there with his teammates. But at the same time, your family comes first. So I'm with Alex. I pray for him. I pray for his situation. I don't know what it involves, but it's obviously something really serious. So I hope that he is in a better place. I hope that his family is fine. And I hope that it's a major turnaround, like a quick turnaround, and he's back with the team next week and able to move forward. I hope this is not something that lingers and that affects his family for a long time. Because in the end, that's what's forever, not football. Your family's forever. So I will give Will Fuller the benefit of the doubt that he deserves as a human being and me as a human being. I'm not going to overreact on something that I don't know about. Now, if you tell me he pulled his hamstring again and he's out for 3 more weeks, then, bro, have at it. Oh, free agent signing, he's a bust. Oh, he can't stay healthy. I wouldn't argue a damn bit. But when you hear Flo's comments, you can tell something serious happened in his life. You know what's kind of frustrating? That we have to talk this much about it and we have to explain it to people and try to make them understand how to have some compassion. Right? That should come naturally. Compassion should be part of your DNA as a human being. Let's take a quick break. Hour number 3 and the final hour is next. For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for ejdconstruction.com.
This is the Big O Show.
There's many ways to support our program, from subscribing and liking the show to visiting our terrific sponsors. Another way is using Cash App. If you would like to donate to the show and help us grow, download Cash App and search Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We appreciate your support as we continue to build the best sports show on the planet for South Florida sports fans. Support the Big O Show by using Cash App and donate to Cash Big O Show. Thank you for your incredibly loyal support.
This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
It's hour number 3, and I'll close all of this thing out because it's a classic. So C. Dola wants to cover his ass, right? So he says, well, what if he is playing the selfish game? What if it turns out he's being selfish? Then will you trash him? First of all, don't play the silly ass hypothetical game. And second, you're already trashing him without even knowing. That's the difference between you and me. I'm not going to trash him until I actually know what the hell's going on. That's all. So you guys already look like asses for trashing him, for assuming whatever ridiculous thing you want, because the only thing important for you is the game. Screw him and his family, of course, because if something serious is going on, example, let's say he has a kid. Kid got sick all of a sudden. They had to take him to the ICU. So you think it's not worth leaving the facility? And maybe they live out of town or something. They haven't moved here since he's only on a 1-year deal. So he has to fly out, go to be next to his child. Or do you think he should play? Which I don't even want you to answer that, because I don't even want to hear some of your answers. Okay? Because you've already crossed the line already, so I know you'll be stupid enough to cross the other line. You know what I'm saying? But what if it was that? What's more important, being by your child's side or playing a stupid game? Which one is it? So, it's pretty simple. What can I tell you? Can't understand that? I can't help you. All right, so let's go with the picks of the week. We went 4-4 against the spread last week. So, New Orleans is favored by 3.5 against Carolina. The over and under is 44.5. New Orleans is minus 190 in the money line, and Carolina plus 160. I love New Orleans defense. Jameis, wow, he threw 5 touchdowns. I don't really buy Carolina right now. So to me, the 3.5, if I watch New Orleans light up Green Bay like a Christmas tree, and Green Bay is 10 times the team Carolina is, I think New Orleans, by the way, did not win at home. It was a home game in Jacksonville. So now they are going to go to Carolina. And I don't see Carolina like this incredible home field advantage, and I don't look at Carolina as a good team. I'm going New Orleans. I'm laying the 3.5, and I'm riding with the Saints. The Saints are marching in. We go Houston. Houston last week had a big win, right, because they played another crappy team that's dysfunctional. They are now taking on the Browns. Now, the Browns were in a battle with Kansas City last week, lost that game. Browns actually ended up covering, and Kansas City did not, so we ended up short by a couple of points there. But Browns showed me some toughness. Now, the problem is the Browns are favored by 13 points here, and they are minus 670 in the money line. Houston is plus 485 on the money line, but I like this. The over and under is 48. I'm going to go with over 48 in this one. I think there's going to be a ton of points. I don't think Houston can really stop the Browns in their running game. I think I can see the Browns racking up easily 30 points in this game, maybe 35, and I can see Houston getting their share of points too, not getting shut down, but scoring somewhere in the 15 to 20 range and getting routed in the process. I think this game goes well over 50 points. Combined, I'm going to go over 48 points in this one with the Browns and Houston. All right, Pats. It's 48.5, by the way. All right, so there we go. Browns and Browns and Pats. I'm going Houston and Browns plus 48, over 48.5. Okay. All right, Pats are at the Jets. Another divisional game as the entire division is playing each other in the first couple of weeks, as you all know. The Patriots are favored by 6. The New York Jets. I still think I look at this quarterback. And I'm talking about the Jets now. I still think he's going to make his share of mistakes in this one. And I think the Patriots are going to do their best to take out the strengths of the New York Jets on offense, which really they don't have any right now. So I think what they're going to do overall is shut this offense down a little better than what they did last week, probably against Miami. I wouldn't touch the over and under in this one because I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I don't think the Jets have the kind of defense that Miami has that can give the Pats the kind of trouble that Miami did last week. So I'm going to go with the Patriots in this one. I'm going to ride the rookie and the Patriots. It's minus 6. I think this game ends somewhere in that area of 7 to 10 points. Patriots win. So I'm going to go Pats in this one, and I'm going to go minus 6. I think they easily win by at least a touchdown in this game. Arizona and Minnesota. Arizona lit it up last week. The offense was awesome. The defense was phenomenal. Minnesota lost in overtime to Cincinnati. Arizona is home. I think they're a better team right now than Minnesota. They're ready to take that next step. They might have given us a glimpse last week with Chandler going crazy and obviously Kyle Murray doing his thing. I'm going to go with Arizona at home, minus 3.5 against Minnesota. The over and under is 50.5. Minnesota's plus 170, And the Arizona Cardinals are minus 200 in this game. But I really like the point spread in this one. Minus 3.5, I'm going with Zona. Dallas and the Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Herbert is not going to have to deal with DeMarcus Lawrence. Lawrence is out 6 to 8 weeks. Unfortunately, injury for him and their best pass rusher. Plus, Randy Gregory also tested positive for COVID. So you've got issues with the Dallas defense right now. And if you can't get to Justin Herbert, I think he's going to be able to put up points. The Chargers defense is not one that scares me either. And I think Dallas is going to put up a lot of points in this game. Dallas has got an explosive offense. I love the scoring in this game. Chargers are favored by 3.5. I'm going to leave that alone because I think Dallas can even win this game. If I think anybody can win this game between the Chargers and Dallas. I don't really have anybody that I feel good about, but I do feel great about both teams scoring a lot of points. I don't think the defenses are going to be slowing these guys down, slowing each other down. I think Herbert's going to be able to put up points. I know Dak's going to be able to light it up. I'm going to go with a crazy number. It's at 55, but in this no defense NFL, I'm going with it. Over 55, Dallas and the Chargers. Kansas City taking on Baltimore. The Chiefs struggled last week to beat a very good Browns team, and they were able to beat them by a couple of points. The Baltimore Ravens, well, they still don't have a quarterback that can beat you with his arm. So unless the Baltimore Ravens offense is going to dominate running the ball, and I don't believe they have a running back right now. I know they activated Devonta Freeman, so they're going to put him more in the mix, but I still don't believe that they have a running back or a running game that can dominate except for the quarterback. He is the ultimate difference maker with his legs. But if they want to put him at risk, which it looks like he's going to be put more at risk this season, I feel bad for the kid. He's going to take some punishment. Kansas City's favored by 3.5 on the road. I'm going to take the Chiefs here on the road. I'm going to lay the 3.5, winning in Baltimore and making the Ravens start the season 0-2. Detroit is taking on Green Bay. Green Bay is favored by 11 coming off a terrible loss to New Orleans. Detroit over and under is 48.5 points. Detroit is plus 420 right now. You know what it's 420. You know what to do. And Green Bay is minus 570. There is no doubt in my mind Green Bay wins this game. Green Bay is going to come in motivated. Aaron Rodgers is going to come in super motivated to redeem himself from last week. He's beaten up on Detroit his entire career. He will continue to do it, but I'm not laying the 11 points. Now, what I did see from Detroit last week, towards the end, they were able to get their offense going and put some points on the board. Green Bay's defense doesn't scare me by any stretch whatsoever. It's a decent defense, but not a great defense. So right now, I expect Detroit to score some points in Lambeau Field. And I'm going to go with the over 48.5 between Detroit and Green Bay. So, last game. Miami Dolphins taking on the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are favored by 3.5 points here in Miami at Hard Rock Stadium. Last week, I told you to take the points on the road against New England and take the money line because I thought Miami was going to win, and we got lucky. They won. Well, this week, guess what? I'm feeling the same buzz. Buffalo's favored by 3.5. I'm going to lean Miami. I'm going to take the points. Even if they lose this game, I think it's going to be even tighter than 3.5 points. So you'll win on the point side. But I like Miami to win this one. Bills are minus 180 on the money line. Fins are plus 150 on the money line. I think I got 160 last week in New England. I'm taking the plus 150 here with the Fins, and I'm taking the Dolphins plus 3.5. So those are my picks. Miami plus 3.5 and plus 150 on the money line. I go New Orleans minus 3.5 at Carolina. I got the over 48 between Houston and the Browns, right? Yeah, it's 48, not 48 and a half, by the way. I got it now. 48, I'm sorry. So over 48, Houston and the Browns. I'm going Pats -6 in the New York Jets. I'm going Zona -3.5 hosting Minnesota. I'm going over 55, Dallas and the Chargers. I'm going Kansas City -3.5 against Baltimore. And I'm going over 48.5, Detroit and Green Bay. Those are my selections. There we go. No Omar Kelly yet? All right. I know we got Omar Kelly any minute now. He is going to join us, and we'll have some fun with O, and we'll talk a little deportes with him and get into a little Dolphins talk. By the way, just to kind of give you an update on the market, just in case, if those of you following the crazy-ass news with Shiba, not that I'm telling you to invest in Shiba in any way, shape, or form, but it is up 31% right now, Shiba. The entire market is down, but Shiba is up 31%. It's funny because my wallet, everything is red, right? The only thing green is Shiba, and so the entire wallet is up 1.98% because of Shiba carrying it. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. And Miami coin that got all the way up to 4 cents, now it's down to 3.6 now. So just a little over 3.5 cents. Let's see. Anthony Campbell says, Big O, huge question for early 9:30 a.m. when you're watching that one. Where's the watch party? Have a beautiful weekend and take. Are you talking about the Jags game? Right, in the 9:30 game? We're at Sports Grill. We're at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes. We're at Sports Grill Miami Lakes this Sunday, 2 hours before the Bills game at 11 o'clock. And that day, we're going to be at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes. They're going to be serving breakfast. Okay, they'll have their regular menu, but they're going to also have breakfast. So if you want to get some pancakes, you want to get some scrambled eggs, you want to get some, bacon, sausage, all that kind of stuff, coffee, they'll have all of that for you at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes. That day, we will get on the air at 7:30 in the morning. We will do a 2-hour pregame like we normally do. And so Sean and I will have to wake up like a 5 a.m.er that day. Maybe, you know what we should do? No, we should show up on Saturday night towards closing, set it up and leave, and then come back. And we could walk in right as they, half hour before they open. Sleep in a little bit more. We don't have to scramble. Well, we could do that if we wanted to, by the way. We could if we wanted to. But yes, we will be
waiting for it to get moved down to Bird Road.
Yeah. Game number 9, it goes to Bird Road. No, the first 8 games were in Miami Lakes. The last 9 games, we are at, what's it called? We are at the Bird Road location. Now, we are planning, obviously, as I told you, the Dolphins are going to get to the playoffs this year. When they get to the playoffs, we might be in our 3rd location if it's open by then, and they're hoping it's open, which will be in the Doral City Center. That's the 3rd sports grill it's the 8th sports grill that they're opening. But these specific owners that own the Miami Lakes and own the Bird Road location, Carlos and Frankie and the guys, they will be opening their 3rd sports grill, and it's going to be at the Doral City Center, which the next year we will be at the Doral City Center one all year long. It'll be Doral all the time. All right? So there you go. Be a little easier for you, Palmetto to Palmetto. I know, but it's still Palmetto to Palmetto at least. Just saying. I'm just saying. Just saying a little Palmetto action. So I know because I know you live right off the Palmetto, so this will be right off the Palmetto also. So it's a beautiful thing.
It took me 7.5 minutes to get to
Miami Lakes. Yeah, you're super close to Miami Lakes, dude. Yeah. So, so for you, text him. Yeah. So for you, is Doral closer than Bird Road? It is, right? Because the other one you have to get the turnpike. Yeah. But all convenient in and out. The Miami Lakes one's super convenient. The highway's right there on the exit. Bird Road, highway's right there off the exit. And then the Doral one, it's right off the exit. So it's really easy in and out for those of you that go. Do the Sports Grill Bird Road for the Jags game? I believe the Jags game, are we in, what number is that? I think we're still in, I still think we're in Miami Lakes. First 8 games, my brother. Are the Jags within the first 8 games? We're in Miami Lakes. First 8 games are Miami Lakes. The last 9 are in Bird Road. Okay? That's how we're working it. And if they have, Doral open, then we'll move over to Doral. I can tell you that. We are waiting Omar. Omar's going to join us any minute now. So hopefully we are waiting for O to join us and do his thing. There he is. There he is. He's popping in. Let's see. What else do we have here? Alex says, I'm going to try to make it out to Sports Grill after the game Sunday. Well, get your ass out there, bro. What do you mean try? Get your ass out there and join us. All right, let's do this. Quick break. Really quick. Just an open. Omar Kelly, baby, and the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. Next.
The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
Are back and we are ready for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. Call Eric and all the great people out there. Trust me, they will definitely take care of you. They're good people, man. Over there at EJD Construction, they do it all. So
quality work man. Over there.
Big time. Kind of like what you do every day with the South Florida Sun Sentinel, young man. How are you doing, sir?
I'm okay, man. On Will Fuller watch. Trying to figure out what's the mystery.
Yeah, I just didn't like, we had some of our listeners were like, oh, what a bum. He's missing the game. And it's like, dude, relax. Obviously it sounds something personal, man. Let's respect the man. It might be something serious with his family, which is always more important than football. We, any of us that actually care about our families, we're going to want to take care of our families first than anything else. The job will be there for you. You know what I mean? And we all must refrain from any kind of comments until we actually find out what's going on in the man's life, man. It could be something pretty tragic right now. And it sounded like it was something very personal that it just kind of showed up out of nowhere. And
absolutely.
So that gets you nervous. That gets you nervous.
Yeah, he talked to the media the day before he left, and we don't know where he is. My hope is that this is something that's minor and family related, and everybody's fine. Maybe it's COVID related, not necessarily with him, but I'm just only speculating right now. My hope is that he has not decided to walk away from the game. He has not decided to walk away from the team. He has not been popped for another PED violation and, faces a year-long suspension. And let's just hope that this is something small and minor as opposed to something that can make him basically, null and void for the season. But as Flores pointed out, and I agree with him, and it's true, and I've said this to you, I mean, Will Fuller's probably participated in 5 practices since training camp.
Right.
It's not like he's been a major part of this team so far. And I don't really see any issue with the offense. And in fact, I argued with you probably a month ago. I don't think it's just guaranteed he's going to go out there and just blow Albert Wilson out the water. And sure, Albert Wilson didn't show you anything in the season opener, but I can tell you he's a big playmaker.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. I just listen, at this point, I'm just rooting for Will Fuller to not have any serious issues. That's all. I'm hoping that he and his family are fine. The football stuff, dude, it can all take care of itself. It'll all be figured out. Let's just wait now and let's actually get the facts, and let's not have people jump into conclusions. because this, let's just respect the man's space at the moment. That's all I'm asking, and that's all we should do at this point in time. What did you pick up from what he said on Preston Williams, that he said definitely improving? So does that, when he at least gives you kind of a little color to that comment, do you kind of say, okay, well, maybe, that's a positive sign that not that he's playing this week, but that maybe Preston is getting closer?
We all know Preston is coming back. I think he can play if needed. I think they're not really pushing him, and they don't really need him right now. I think the only time you'll need him is if something happens to Devontae Parker. I mean, there are guys who fit certain molds of receivers, and Devontae, Preston, and Mac Hollins, they're all one receiver, and they all fit into that slant running mold of receiver, big body targets. They've got two on the active right now in Mac Hollins, who's the number one gunner, so he has to be active no matter what. And then you've got Devontae Parker. I don't really think you have a need for Preston Williams right now. You have a need more for speed guys, and Will Fuller was going to be that. Right now, you're going to have to lean on Albert Wilson and Jalen Waddle. Jakeem, if he's ever going to be in the equation from an offensive standpoint, and they've got enough weaponry we complained all of last week about Mike Gesicki, your second best offensive weapon or third best offensive weapon, not having many targets. There's only so many balls to go around, so many elite targets, and I think they'll be just fine.
Yeah, and the Gesicki thing, you noticed after they wanted to get more blockers in there.
Yep.
And so to them, it was more.
What do I always tell you? He's a glorified slot receiver.
And I have no problem with that. There's plenty of guys like that in this league. I got no, as long as you can catch the ball, I'm good with that. If you're productive with that, now you can't be a glorified receiver and not receive, and you're dropping balls all over the place and not scoring. Okay, what I mean? I don't mind that.
That surprised me for Hunter Long, a rookie, to take 20 of his offensive snaps. Like, that's a shocker. That's a shocker for me. And
but you're not in the end, when it's all said and done, you're actually not surprised, right? Because Hunter was considered more of a complete type of tight end, a kid that can, get his nose dirty and block some.
But are you going to do Gesicki like this in a contract year though? Like,
Omar, it's not about your contract. It's about winning the damn game. And if in the game plan it requires,
are you saying that Mike Gesicki can help you? I mean, that Hunter Long can help you win the game better than Mike Gesicki can?
They won the game, didn't they?
Because Xavier Howard forced the fumble and recovered it. That's the only reason they won the game. The only reason.
The game has to be tight enough for Xavier Howard to win the game for you, my brother. Okay. So you play the game throughout 4 quarters. So yes, that was the game deciding play.
Only reason.
But the team, both offensively, both offensively, defensively, and on special teams, you kept a tight game. You gave your team a chance to win at the end of the game. So for their game plan,
so let me ask you a question.
When it's a W, it's hard to argue anything. You know what I'm saying?
If Xavier doesn't get that fumble, do they win?
No, of course not. Of course not. And if Tua doesn't score, they don't win. And if Tua doesn't throw to Waddle for a touchdown, they don't win. And if Tua doesn't find Parker on a slant, they don't win. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can say. If they don't do certain things, they don't end up winning the game. Everything comes together as the sum of all parts, and then you get the finished product. So they did enough all over the place to put themselves in position to be successful. And it wasn't only just Xavier. 3 other guys were forcing fumbles, and they recovered 2 of those fumbles. So the guys were trying to do, it wasn't X the only guy that was forcing fumbles here. There were 3 other people that forced fumbles in this game, and they were able to recover 2 of them. Everything that you do in a game, Omar, is important. You know what I mean? It all contributes. And I have to give them the benefit of the doubt if they felt they needed more blocking than they did more receiving. And because you just mentioned it, they have enough weapons. They felt the other guys could pick up the slack by using Gesicki less, and that's what ended up happening, doggy.
I get it. In a game where you got a rookie playing left tackle, you need blockers on that line of scrimmage, and it makes a lot of sense. And I get it, but
it's like the Jacoby Brissett thing, doggy. At first, I freaked out, and then I go, "Oh man, that makes all the sense in the world that they're going to use him for the quarterback sneak." He weighs 40 pounds more than Tua and is 4 inches taller than Tua. Yeah, hell yeah, use his big body in there. Those are things that you don't think of. So you got to give the coaches credit. They're thinking outside the box, and they've got to make those kind of calls.
I swear to God, nobody this week has asked him to explain the Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, really, I am shocked you guys have not asked him that.
Bro, we you know what?
I thought you guys would ask the offensive coordinators. That is actually
they don't answer shit. They don't.
Boyer was God, man. Boyer was.
It's a major frustrating point, and it's just getting worse and worse around here. But that's let me
the best part is when you guys are interviewing Boyer, you can see his eyes and his mind thinking of, okay, how am I going to phrase this by saying nothing?
It's like their goal every day. Their goal is to talk to us and walk away saying absolutely nothing. And it's and our goal is they win all the time. Our goal is to get them to say something. And they win all the time, and it's getting to the point where it feels like we're facing Tom Brady's Patriots. It's just a doomed scenario from the jump.
Yeah, it's what's really hurt you guys is that you don't have locker room access, because at least with locker room access, you'll be able to get something that's different than the norm, because you'll be able to pull somebody aside by yourself and then get some quotes that you normally wouldn't get from a group or anything like that. That's really kind of hurt you guys. And also, even just for human interest stories, it's like pulling teeth for you guys, because it doesn't matter whether it's you or Joe Shad or Hal Habit or anybody, bro. You guys are lobbing these softballs that are for human interest stories, and it's really tough to get the kind of answers you guys need, man. It's a shame.
Somehow we find a way, and it just I don't know what to tell you. The Patriots made it work, and we're clearly on that Patriots program. So as long as you win, it's all gravy, man. Nobody cares as long as you win, and we're headed in that direction. So let's just keep it going. Now we got Buffalo. It's a big game. This is a tipping game for me, because right now I don't think they're in the same neighborhood as the Buffalo Bills, and they can shut me up and prove me wrong.
Well, they're going to win again this week, by the way. So anyway, so listen, I was talking about this. Pittsburgh last week, Omar, made Buffalo, pretty pedestrian. Let's put it that way. Allen was 30 of 51. He threw 51, but the completions for 30 was only for 270 yards and a touchdown. And he did run 9 times, but it was 44 yards. Beasley caught 8 balls, but they were 60. What's it called? Diggs caught 9 balls, but 69 yards. Singletary rushed 11 times, 72, no touchdowns. So they did a really good job of kind of bending and not breaking for the Bills. They gave up some yards, but they limited them to 16 points. And in a way, that's kind of been Miami's game under Flo right now, because they haven't gotten to the point where they're a dominant defense, but they do give up some yards, but they don't end up breaking a lot of times, and they kind of make teams settle for field goals or things like that, or they get a turnover or something along that way. And I almost feel like in order to get to them to be pedestrian, do you agree with me that it's all about Agba and Phillips and Van Ginkel and Seiler and Wilkins and Baker and all these guys getting after Allen one way or another, whether you sack him or just hit him, but make him feel like a pinball machine in between the bumpers on a consistent basis?
That just has not been a very successful strategy. I hear where you're going and your thought process, but it just has not been a very successful strategy for Miami. And from that standpoint, when do you see this team getting pressure with rushing just 4? It just doesn't happen.
Well, no, that's why I threw the linebackers in there, and even
Yeah,
you're
they're
going to have to
blitz.
set safety blitz. You're going to have a corner blitz. You're going to have to keep him off balance somewhat, and keep him in the pocket too at the same time. So it's got to kind of be a discipline type of thing if you can. So how do you see it?
I think they have to take that same approach and drop 7 in the cover. I think they got to vary their coverages, and I think shadowing him on downs is important. Shadowing him on third downs is important. I think, basically containing the run is critical, and then confusing him, changing up the looks. But I'm not sure blitzing him on third downs is the right approach.
So you like 7-8 DBs, and then kind of having what's it called? A Baker. Baker being the spy for him. Is that what you're saying?
I do. Baker or one of the safeties. I think Holland would be a great spy. Just a guess.
Such a big dude, bro.
Yeah, he is big. I was taking a look at him. He's got some size to him, but Josh Allen's a real big dude. Josh Allen's the size of a tight end.
That's what I meant. Is that Josh?
Oh yeah.
For Holland to cover him, that's a big body that he has to try to fight and take down. And Allen is a big hog, dude. Holy crap.
Yeah, I mean, Holland only weighs like 17 less pounds than Jerome Baker. So but to me, it's about speed and closing ability. And I like Baker's blitzing ability. I like his. But then you take him away, and then somebody's not defending the back. So Josh Allen has beaten Miami 5 of 6 times. He's won AFC Player of the Week 4 of the 6 times. He's won it 4 times against the Dolphins. He's won AFC Player of the Week 6 times in his career, and 4 of those games have been against the Dolphins. So that's the level of dominance that he's had. I'm writing a column in the Sun Sentinel right now, basically explaining why Josh Allen is Miami's daddy. Listen, they got to get some child support payments, man, because he is their father.
Well, Dad's going to lose this week.
Okay,
and I do like, if you can't rush him, which I think they're going to try. I do like the opposite of that is dropping 7-8 guys and just flooding the zone, and then trying to confuse him and try to make him. The only thing I worry about, obviously, is that he's going to then kill you with his legs, and he's done a really good job of that, of killing them with his legs, and made a lot of. Now this past week, Pittsburgh really was able to limit that. Now,
I think your best approach is to fuck him up, and but to do that you got to blitz him, and I think you pay big. You blitz him. It just hasn't been very effective and successful for you. So, yeah, it's he's probably a harder riddle to solve than Tom Brady, if you think about it.
The only thing also is this is the first time they play him with Jones and X on the field, so this might make a little bit of a difference.
They had Jones and X in the season finale, so yeah. Well,
did they? Oh yes, they did. That's right. He was healthy.
Where they got roasted by backups, not Jones and X, but yes, the Dolphins.
But
killed Noah, just destroyed him.
Well, but Noah's different. That's what I'm saying. Having those 2 guys there, Needham's playing well.
They killed Needham. It wasn't
right.
Let me be fair.
Okay, yeah, Needham's playing well right now, so hopefully that will translate over to this game. Injury wise, anything else that we got to be concerned about, that we should know about?
Adam Shaheen. Sorry for all the yawning. Baby was up at 5:00 in the morning, so it's been a long day.
Understand.
Adam Shaheen is coming back from a knee injury. That's just another tight end that's entering the equation. We got Preston Williams with this Liz Frank injury. I'm not sure he's going to be active. Whether or not he's questionable for the game or not, I'm not sure. And then special teams, Clayton Fejedelem. He's battling an injury that I don't know if it's going to keep him out of the game. He's just a special teamer anyway.
Yeah, no, and he's good at covering special teams, but
special teams captain. Let me put some respect on his name. He's captain.
No, he's a special team stud. That's what he does. But I think they have enough guys that I don't think that's not the area that I'm concerned about nearly as much on special teams. I'm more concerned about trying to corral that offense and trying to slow it down. But I do love the idea of playing a lot of zone back there, like what Pittsburgh did, and try to confuse them, because that does make a lot of sense. Now, Pittsburgh naturally has guys up front that can disrupt things and really make it more difficult for you. Miami does not have those kind of guys, and that's the only thing that I do worry about, and that's why I think they're going to have to change things up overall. Now, on the offense, what do you want to see from Miami? What does Miami have to do in order to make life easier for the defense this week?
Protect Tua, run the football, and Tua's got to be sharp. Tua's got to be consistent. I know he can play a better game than what he showed against the Patriots. That turnover is probably the only blemish that I saw from really his performance, and he's got to clean that up a little bit more. He's got to deliver to Albert Wilson. The plays are there. I'm telling you, the plays are there.
Right.
It's and utilizes tight ends a little bit better. And strangely enough, those are the things that I think he's done well here at training camp. Utilization of his tight ends, and then the Albert Wilson big plays. Though if you ask me what I've seen from him during training camp, that would be it. Unfortunately, you didn't see that in the season opener, but I'm a patient man. I think it's coming.
So what was the prediction for you in the paper?
I'm predicting 24-21 Buffalo Bills until you show me that you have an answer to the Josh Allen riddle, which I don't think, Josh Allen has dominated them better than Tom Brady ever has, which is weird, but it's just true. And really, until you solve that riddle of how to defend Josh Allen, I'm not sure that you're in the same class as the Buffalo Bills.
24-20 Miami.
Okay. I mean, I'd listen. They win this game. They win on Sunday. They own the AFC East. It's their division, and they're in the driver's seat. And all they got to do is take care of business. You should sweep the Jets. That gets you to 4. You win one more in the division, whether it be against New England or whether it be against Buffalo. That gets you to 5. You win another 5 or 6 games outside your division, and you're at 11, and you're sitting real pretty in the playoffs.
There you go. See, now you understand why I think they're going to win 11. There you go. Now you're on my side. You see?
We'll
there
see.
There you go. So 24-20 Miami, and we'll be talking about a Dolphin victory on Monday, my friend. You have a great weekend. Get some sleep. Charge that battery. I'll see you Monday.
All right. Talk to you later.
You got it. There you go. Well, actually, we'll see him Sunday, too, for the game. We appreciate it. Omar Kelly with the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
And we thank Omar Kelly for joining us, as always, getting it done in the Sun Sentinel today. And this is cool. I like this. Hyde has the Dolphins winning 27-24. Omar, 24-21 Bills. You saw it now. He said it, but he has it in the paper. David Furones, the newest addition to the Dolphin beat, moving over from the Canes, has got the Bills winning close one, 24-23. Steve Sevkis. Steve, I hope I pronounced your last name right. I go back and forth with Steve on Twitter all the time. He looks like a really cool dude. He's got the Bills actually in a comfortable win, 27-19. Kevin Lerner, who's the assistant editor there at the Sun Sentinel, has got the Bills 24-17. And Kathy Laughlin has got the Miami Dolphins going 27-24. So only 2 of the 6 people, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in the Herald Sports Department picked the Miami Dolphins. And I think that's kind of the norm around town. You got some people that will pick the Dolphins. You know, who was it? Joe Shad picked the Dolphins, and I picked the Dolphins last week. But Alan Poupar picked the Patriots, and Omar picked the Patriots last week. It's a prediction, bro. We're all going to get them right, and we're all going to get them wrong plenty of times. So this is where they're at right now. And this game here opens the door for everything. This is the game that if you beat the Bills and all of a sudden you beat the Bills and the Patriots, the two teams, remember, a lot of people, except this guy, picked the Dolphins to be behind the Bills and the Patriots. I gave the Bills their respect for the division, but I told you, Miami is the second best team in this division. I truly feel that, and I think that's what it's going to prove out as the year goes on. But if you go and beat the Patriots now, that starts to send kind of the Bills now, that sends a message now. Because all of a sudden, what some people still may label a flukish win last week, right? Which it's not. There's nothing flukish when you force 4 fumbles. So don't tell me that the fourth one was flukish and, well, if you don't get that one, you don't win and this and that. Well, wait a minute. They were already forcing fumbles all throughout the game. How about giving the Dolphins credit for their defense being aggressive and being, what's that, opportunistic, as they say. So you win this game. This is kind of the game that starts to turn the tide on ESPN, on Fox, on CBS, locally here. The people that still didn't believe that the Dolphins have turned a corner and that they're actually going to be a really good team this year, they will now start to believe it because you beat the best team in the division. And here's the other thing that I love about all of this now for Tua. Tua's the guy that's won twice already against Belichick. Flo's the guy that's 3-2 against Belichick already. Dolphins are 1-0 already and shocked a lot of people by winning in New England as it is. Tua now is the full-time starter. It's his team. He gets to come home now to a packed house, a rowdy-ass crowd for Dolphin fans, pumped for this game, and we still have a section of Dolphin Nation that doubts the kid. So while we were just talking about all the pundits that don't believe in the Dolphins, let's get to the Dolphin that doesn't believe in his own quarterback right now. And there's a lot of you out there that are still not convinced that the kid's the guy. Well, if he goes out there this week and stays away from the bad turnover and has the solid game and leads them to a victory, this also goes a long way to starting to convince people that maybe he can be the guy. Because in your mind, he now beat the best team in the division, and then he beat the other team that's got the reputation. So for Tua, this is a sweet moment right now. Bills have won 5 straight against Miami. You got to stop the bleeding. You got to start sending. The message has already been sent to the Patriots during the Brian Flores era. Hey, guys, you no longer dominate here. We're 3-2 against you. Oh, and by the way, we've won twice in Foxborough. That's what the Dolphins are saying to the Patriots right now. Flo may not say it, the player's not saying it, but I'm kind of speaking for them that this is what their body language is saying. Hey, we don't fear you guys anymore. You're not the dynasty anymore. We're 3-2 against you. And your home field advantage is gone now. This is another way for Tua to ingratiate and win fans over from his own fan base, which is kind of crazy, but it's part of the game. You've gone 0-5 against the Bills. This is your team. You're pretty healthy overall outside of the Fuller absence right now, which is sad, and probably Preston Williams is going to be out. So you're missing a couple weapons, but the beauty is this front office has stacked it up that you have more than enough weapons to win the game on Sunday. Albert Wilson's got to find a way to make plays. Maybe you inject Jakeem Grant a little bit more, but there's no doubt that Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, and Devontae Parker have got to be the playmakers. And hopefully Gaskin and maybe even Ahmed coming out of the backfield as a receiver help out a lot too. I think Gaskin can have a pretty good game. He was doing pretty good last week too. I thought he had a solid game last week. I was happy with his game. But this is one of those moments for Tua that becomes kind of a watershed moment in a way. Because now your quarterback came away victorious from New England, and he played a solid game, didn't play a great game, I get it. But if he comes up with a hell of a performance this week against the Bills, then people will look at what happened last week a little bit like an aberration because he's a young player, and then they're going to say, well, he faced a better team this week and performed impeccably. I think we're starting to find out that this is our guy. Even though I feel he's the guy, and I think he will prove people right in the end. A win, ending the streak, giving you a 2-0 lead, winning at home in front of your fans, and a terrific performance is the perfect recipe to win a lot of Dolphin fans over for Tua. I hope that's what happens on Sunday. I would like to see it. Last time Miami won, December 2nd of 2018, a 21-17 win where Tannehill was 16 of 24 for 137 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. Not a lot of yards, but a heck of a game, right? 3 touchdowns, 16 of 24 is not terrible. It's pretty good. Josh Allen was 18 of 33 for 231 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, did rush 9 times for 135 yards. That can't happen again. All right, remember, you can reach out to us on the text line, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to reach out, the text line anytime. You got comments, you got questions, you got insults, all kinds of good stuff. Take the shots at me, not at Will Fuller, okay? Do me a favor. I don't mind. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. Take the shots at me. Will Fuller doesn't deserve any of your shots. So, speaking of the division, Tom Brady has a video session with Gronkowski. You have it there? About Brady? Talking about it? One of the 3 I sent there. So Tom Brady, they do this thing where they sit in these 2 lawn chairs or beach chairs and then they've got like some beach, and it's right in the practice field, right? And they answer questions, apparently from Bucs fans that send in their questions, and then, they pick a couple of those questions and they give them an opportunity to answer those questions. And the question of the week was, can Tom Brady play until he's 50 years old? Right? That's the question. Do we have it locked and loaded? Are we ready to go? Give me a second here. Sean's going to bring it up. And let me tell you something. Watching Brady now is fun. Okay, I want the Dolphins to kick his ass every time they see him on the field in a game, but off the field, I like this Brady because you got away from Belichick and you're allowed to have like a personality and have some fun. And Gronk, loves to have fun, so they've got him. Huh? The other one? I thought I did send it to you there. I thought you had it there. I thought I had it, unfortunately, man. Forever, Sarah, smile. Let's see what we have here. Oh, I hit the wrong one. All right. So, yeah, I was hoping that, no, it's there. It's there, doggy. Let's see. I did send it to you there. All right. So hopefully it's resent. So hopefully we'll get it here for you. But I thought it was funny because it's a cool segment. You get to watch Brady's personality come out, and then obviously with Gronk there, and those two have been capitalizing on commercials as it is already, with both of them together in that phone commercial. Was Verizon or I don't know, AT&T? I forgot what company it is that they're always talking about. But it's actually fun to watch him let loose a little bit. You know what I mean? And in this case, he's constantly they're always doing all the questions every single week. And they do multiple ones. It's a short show, actually, that they put together for a few minutes. So this is one of the excerpts of it. And Brady is asked if he can play till he's 50 years old, which you think about it. If the dude plays till he's 50, that's historic, nuts, unheard of.
Can Tom Brady play?
How many more titles is he going to win?
Wow.
All right, let's. Here's the video for you and a little audio, of course, for those of you that are on the podcast. Go ahead, Sean. Fire it off.
You're 44. That's 6 more years.
I don't find it.
Can Tom Brady play until 50 years old?
He's having a mission with this.
Seems to be a really hot question lately. Can Tom Brady play till 50? Like 50 years old?
Yeah, 50. You're 44. That's 6 more years.
I don't find it so difficult. And plus, in the Florida, it's kind of a retiree state, so I feel like I can play and then just glide into retirement. I think I can. I think it's a yes.
So what they should do is actually move the games to the Villages. Right? I mean, they're right up there. So you might as well move the stadium. You know how people move houses and you see them out on the street, and you saw the kid in that commercial where he's bike riding and they're taking the house somewhere, so he's throwing the newspaper on the moving porch. So what they do is they put the stadium on blocks and they move it and park it right in the middle of the Villages in Orlando. And I know it won't be the Tampa Bay Bucks anymore, and the Villages are in Orlando, but what the hell, bro? If you're going to play to 50, you might as well play in a retirement community. By the way, have you heard the stories about the Villages? Supposedly it's like the wildest place out there. Supposedly they have more sex in the Villages than they do anywhere else in the world. And by the way, if you do tend on retiring in the Villages, Tom Brady, anybody else, you may want to protect yourself, because apparently STDs are flying all over the place there too. I would imagine that the COVID stuff kind of slowed down the action at the Villages. That's definitely a club you don't want to go to, right? Seeing 60 and 80-year-olds pick up each other. Yeah, it's just that's a saggy type of situation, I can tell you that. All right, so the other one that I wanted to get into is Bart Scott. So Bart Scott was on ESPN making some predictions, and he was pressed about a certain game with the 49ers, right? And about a specific team that he's picking against. And remember, we're talking about Bart Scott here, right? So Damian Woody kind of takes umbrage with Bart Scott's comments and ends up challenging him for a prediction. Go ahead, shoot, Sean. Show it to him.
Everybody's in love with Jalen Hurts this week. Everybody went out and bought jerseys. Jersey sales up 500%. But I tell you what, I bet you the Philadelphia fans didn't do. They didn't pop that tag off. They tucked it in. Because this week, they're going to be returning all those jerseys. Because they got the San Francisco 49ers that look elite. So listen, don't worry about it. Same thing make you cry.
So you can't wait to see them all returning their jerseys.
Okay, yeah, they're going to be spraying Febreze on there. I didn't wear it. I promise I didn't.
I like it.
Hold on, Green Bartholomew. I got to do like your mama do you. Bartholomew.
First of all, I'm a boy.
Okay, Bartholomew. I got to holler holler at you about the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? I gotta holler at you about the First of all, you're talking about the San Francisco 49ers elite. Did we watch the San Francisco 49ers, the same team that allowed the Detroit Lions to come all the way back in that game? They almost won the game.
They scored 24 points.
Come on, man. Listen,
Cruise control.
let me tell you something about the Philadelphia Eagles. One thing I know, I'm a big boy. I understand line play. Them boys are elite up front on both sides of the football. Okay. They got young dogs on offense, on the offensive side of football as far as offensive skill guys.
What about defense?
Okay. I told you up front. I'm talking about the defensive line. They got big dogs on the defensive line that can eat. And you know that's where it starts at, where it starts, Bart.
Can we have one shot?
Get this one shot.
Okay, listen.
Come on.
I bet you that if the 49ers lose to the Philadelphia Eagles, I'll shave my eyebrow off. What say you?
Oh, my goodness.
What say you?
Oh.
What say you?
Let's see.
Yeah, we know you be beating your face up. You're going to be drawing your eyebrows on. Put your money where your mouth is, Steve Wood. Put your eyebrows up. Right one, left one. I don't care. If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
All right. Apparently there's an echo, folks are saying, but he bet that he would shave his eyebrows. Now, I didn't see Damian Woody take up the bet, because Damian Woody got a little Tyron Woodley. And from now on, Tyron Woodley will be the word that we'll use for people who back out of bets and don't live up to their word. You know what I mean? Because Tyron Woodley definitely did not. He made the bet. I saw the video. He shook hands on it. Then later on, acted like it never happened and he never made a commitment to it. And then after he lost, he didn't get the tattoo and made every excuse in the book after that. He completely punked out. And then he was like, well, I'll get the tattoo if you give me the rematch, because he wanted more money. You should have lived up to the bet, bro. In fact, how about this? Why don't you try to win the fight instead? That would have been better than losing to a YouTuber. But anyway, he went Tyron Woodley on him. But I would love to see that bet, because that would be funny. I would be rooting for it's hard for me to root for the Eagles because like their fans are like maybe the worst fan base next to the English hooligans, right? No, not Jet fans and not Gator fans and not Notre Dame fans. No. We got obnoxious Canes fans. Well, I don't know. Do we have any more? No, I think the Canes fans lost they lost their credit. They can't be obnoxious anymore. Because you'd be ignorant if you're obnoxious if you're a Canes fan. Right? There's no way you can be a cocky Canes fan because that's kind of stupid. Right? You're like a complete moron if you're a cocky Canes fan because you can't beat anybody, so why would you try to even brag about it? So let's just say, certain fans are pretty bad, and the Eagles are probably the worst fan base that there is out there next to the English hooligans. So it's hard for me to want them to do well. I don't want them to do well. But if Bart Scott has to shave off his eyebrows, then yeah, I would love to see that. That would be funny. Would he then paint on his eyebrows? Is the question. Now, the other one that I love that we saw, and I wanted to talk a little bit about it because this rolls over to Canes fans. I know that we have a very, very small, uninformed, blind ass fan type of Canes fan that thinks they can still get Mario Cristobal, which we know they got no shot at getting Mario Cristobal. Mario Cristobal would never take the job here at the University of Miami. He's got way better opportunities other places, and he's in a much better program right now in Oregon as it is. They will spend the money. They will do whatever it takes to win. That's what you need in college, football. So he was on with Doug Gottlieb, and Doug was pressing him about the USC job. And I got some stuff to say about this, where Doug also kind of went to a ridiculous area that really there was no need to go to, and you weren't really proving anything. I'll tell you what it is. Go ahead, fire off the exchange between Mario Cristobal of Oregon and Doug Gottlieb.
when people mention your name for said job, what would your response be?
My response is go Ducks.
Any chance that you at least have a conversation about it?
I'm telling you again, go Ducks. I'm not sure why you brought me on this interview. I was under the impression that we were talking about the Oregon Ducks and whatnot. Since we go this route, I'll reinforce it again, go Ducks. And so here I am, buddy.
When people mention your name for said job,
what I love about this is Mario was really smart. Really, really smart here. First of all, he never said, no, I'm happy in Oregon. I'm not going to USC. Did he ever say that? Did you hear him say that? No. He just said, go Ducks. So he appeases his fan base, but he never said he wouldn't take the USC job. Not that he would take the USC job. Maybe he stays at Oregon. Maybe he feels he's better off in Oregon. Maybe he just did that. So in the offseason, his agent says, well, USC is interested. I think we need to renegotiate his contract. So then this might be only a ploy to get more money out of Oregon, which Phil Knight is going to go, here you go, Mario. Here you go. Here you go. And here's a $4 million house in the French Riviera waiting for you. You can have that too. That's it's the kind of stuff that probably will happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm having some fun with the house in the Riviera. But what I mean is Mario was really smart in multiple ways there. He left it so he can leverage USC against Oregon. He left it where, well, who knows? Maybe USC wants to offer me something really, really amazing, and he can go to LA and have the LA market and all of that, which personally for me, if I'm him, I'd stay at Oregon. Oregon and USC for me, USC is not the job it used to be. You can see, here's the problem with the old people nowadays, okay? People my age and older, that they haven't come to this reality. UM isn't UM anymore. Tennessee isn't Tennessee anymore. Texas isn't Texas anymore. USC isn't USC anymore. They're not those jobs anymore. Florida State is not that job anymore. Whoever takes over those programs takes over programs of pissed off fan bases. Pissed off fan bases that have watched their entire programs crumble to mediocrity. So, if you don't turn it around quickly, they want you fired. And remember, several other coaches have already tried to turn it around and have failed miserably. Michigan, they got the same guy there that has just picked up where the other ones left off and kept it mediocre and making it harder and harder and harder for the next guy to take over and rebuild the program. And USC is not USC anymore. Nobody looks at USC and fears it. Nobody looks at USC and thinks, oh my God, it's the golden job. Because there's so much that you have to overcome there that it's not as easy as it used to be. It's not like you're taking over when Pete Carroll left to Seattle. And you're like, okay, well, there's some sanctions, but man, this place is loaded. We get through the sanctions, we're ready to go. No, they've never recovered. And so if you're Oregon, you've built something if you're Mario now. Now you're getting Oregon to places they've never been. They're getting players drafted like they never have now. So if you're Mario, why would you go? And then let me also talk about the Doug Gottlieb side, where I thought it was just a cheap attempt of creating some buzz for your program at the risk of pissing off the coach. Because one, the coach is not going to tell you. Do you think the coach in the middle of a college season is going to tell you, well, I'll sit on this and think about it, and maybe I'll talk to USC later on. How's that going to look when he goes back to Oregon?
No, I definitely think that would happen. I mean, all you got to do is ask him twice. If he doesn't answer the first time, you ask him the second time
for sure.
And then when he gets defensive, then you go, wow, I didn't mean it.
Yeah, I didn't mean it. So it's a silly question that you were never going to get an answer. You just went for the shock value of it, and there was no substance to it because you were putting the person in an impossible position, and that's Mario. And Mario handled it beautifully by just saying, hey, buddy, go Ducks. Go Ducks. Go Ducks. I thought you brought me on to talk about the Ducks program because he knows they're talking about USC. Hell, who knows? USC may have already called his agent behind the scenes. Hey, so how's Mario? Does Mario like Southern California? I mean, it's a disaster to live in Washington, Portland, or California at this time. When you watch the leadership that goes on in those three states, whoo, oh, wow. That's a real winner there. In the beautiful city of Portland, they allow you to riot all you want. In Seattle, they allow you to take over streets and take down a police station and all that. And in California, let's see, crime is like at an all-time high. It's a beautiful area of the world to live in nowadays. Thank the Lord. Big O, can you do the worm? I have no idea why that was brought up, and no, I cannot do the worm.
I'm able to watch some of the comments that are coming through. Apparently, Cap for Life said he once saw Big O do the "Teach Me How to Doggy" when Finns made the playoffs. I seen it, bro. I seen it, and now everybody's starting to pile on.
I've never done "Teach Me How to Dougie." Never. I wish I could Dougie.
We're gonna have to put some of these on videos.
Have you? Do you remember the John Wall Dougie?
Never been a dancer. Never been a dancer.
Go to YouTube right now. Go John Wall Dougie introduction. So the first time that John Wall was a rookie, right? First time he was a rookie. That's kind of an oxymoron, right? Right? Because if you're a rookie, it is the first time. Well, in his rookie year, when he got introduced, his first game, he came out in the introduction doing the Dougie. And it was one of the best Dougies I've ever seen in my life. I wish he would do his introductions every time doing the Dougie. Now, the Dougie was a thing back in the day. What was this? 8-10 years ago or whatever it was the Dougie time. And John Wall's Dougie was just absolutely badass. I'm not sure if any of you have seen John Wall's Dougie, but we're about to show it to you right now because it was like a cool thing. I wish I could Dougie. I don't know how to Dougie. You got it there? Because I knew it would come up easily right away. I missed the John Wall Dougie. I got to say, it was one of the best intros of all time.
From Kentucky, welcome to DC, number 2, John Wall.
Once he gets over his shyness, he's going to be something else. He's so reserved.
Once he gets over his shyness, he's going to be something else. It was a good Dougie, bro. There it is. Okay, see, I'm watching it now in a delay now, so I get to see it now with Dougie. There he goes. There he goes. That was a good. That's an intro, bro. That's an intro. See? That, my friends, is a badass intro.
Gives me an idea. Maybe we get that for your intro.
That's it.
You doing
me doing a Dougie?
Yeah, we'll get
okay.
it. Then everybody can see it every day.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And I can say, John Wall, teach me how to Dougie. John Wall, teach me how to Dougie. I love it, man. I love it. All right. Good luck to the Inter Miami squad tonight against the Red Bulls of New York. And, of course, more Marlins wins. Anyways, we got a couple of good pitchers this weekend. Hopefully the boys get a little run support, which would be nice. Good luck to the Miami Dolphins against the Bills. We will be on at 9 a.m. 11 a.m. I'm sorry. Wow, 9 a.m. Sorry there, Sean. I shocked you there, Sean. I'm so sorry. 11 a.m. We're going to be on at, what's it called? The Sports Grill in Miami Lakes, right off of 154th. So come on out, man. Join us. Let's pack the house. Let's cheer on the Dolphins as they get ready to go 2-0 and beat the Bills. And, of course, we'll be on with the postgame show. We'll have Flores' press conference and the players and all that good stuff, so you can catch it there with us on our channel. On behalf of Sean and Brett and all the great people out here at Caneswear, we thank you all out there. Come on out to Caneswear. They will take care of you at 2511 South University Drive in Davie. When you come on out to any of our sponsors, Acura, you call Pallet Rack City, you call American Dream Lending, Caneswear, you name it, folks, EJD Construction, make sure you tell them that you heard it on the Big O Show. That is very important, okay? And my friends over, by the way, at EJD Construction, if you are looking to redo your mortgage, maybe you want to get a second mortgage, maybe you're looking to buy a house, American Dream Lending is offering you $1,000 off your closing costs. 305-992-5218. Call Eves right now from adreamlending.com. $1,000 credit towards your closing costs. 305-992-5218. We will see you on Sunday, same time, same place. Well, at 11 a.m. is the Bat Channel.
Blind ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind ass fan coming through.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CFs, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at